What's going on, everybody? How you doing? It's Miss Christopher. Welcome, one and all. Man, we're gonna have a fun night tonight. If you're just tuning in, we are going to be doing. This is the pre-show. The actual show doesn't start for another 18 minutes. So if you want to forward to where the show actually starts, just forward 18 minutes, and you'll be at the actual regular show. And then we're going to cover the news. And when we cover the news and a bunch of other stuff. That's just kind of the nature of the show. So that's kind of what we're doing. Hope everybody's doing well. It's going to be awesome. Hello, Susie. How are you? Michelle, hello. How are you? Susie says, can't watch this, but you have to watch later. That's perfectly okay. Got a lot to cover tonight. So, we typically try to end the show by 10 p.m., which is a couple hours. But normally what ends up happening is that you guys start getting on the phone, or we get on a roll, or we start talking about things, and we just never seem to run out of details. And so it's really, really cool. Cammie, hello. Susie. Yes, rest in peace to DMX for sure. I know he's got a lot of kids. He's got a lot of fam. 14. What he had said, 14 kids, and many of which not. It's just, anyways. Charlotte, hello. Andre, what's going on? Andre, I know that he's sitting in the in his chair in the middle of the. He's naked. It's probably naked. Who knows? Knowing I'm gonna try to fix this thing. Knowing Andre, he likes to be naked, so it's just Andre. Laurie, what's going on? Karen, hello. Yes, Stacy, what's going on? What's going on, Stacy? You like your little emoji. What up? Shirley, hello from Philadelphia. Carrie, hello. Nikia, hello, Nikia. Nikia, did you? No, maybe you didn't. Something I was going to ask you, Nikia, and I can't remember what it was. Tanya, hello. Yeah, so tonight we're going to be talking about, again, this is a pre-show. This is kind of where I just hang out with you guys, and we just kind of just chat about whatever. So, don't feel like, this, we're just going to be talking about whatever. For here. Until we start the show, I'm trying to fix this thing. For some reason, anyway, it doesn't matter. I hope everybody's doing good. Jamie, what's going on? And I was watching Andre's live. Andre had a live show that was actually pretty funny. I was sitting here watching Andre sit in his chair, and he was out in the courtyard smoking a cigarette, and his battery died on his wheelchair, and he was complaining about how they keep cutting down trees around him. So it was funny. It was entertaining. I got to actually sit and watch Andre's live show, which is always funny. Irene, hello. How are you? Diana, hello. Jamie, hello. Another person from Philadelphia, or wasn't the same. Linda, hello. Misty, hello. Oh, hello from Minneapolis. Misty, let me tell you, I don't know exactly what the right moment is to talk about what's going on in Minneapolis, but holy cow. Holy cow. Oh, Cammie says got her autographed copy of Dwayne's first book yesterday. Michelle, hello. Adrienne from Jersey, my hometown. Everybody doesn't know that. I was born in New Jersey. Adrienne, you probably don't know that. I was born in New Jersey. I was actually born in the middle of Jersey in a little county called Hunterdon County. I was born at Flemington, New Jersey, and spent a lot of time in New Jersey, Flemington, and Highbridge, and Clinton, New Jersey. Clinton, I don't think it's Clinton Township. It's Hunterdon County. But Jamie, all these people from Pennsylvania. Oh my gosh, Trina, what's going on from North Carolina? Missy says it's not good. Yeah, I know it's not good. There's a lot going on with you guys up in Minneapolis, and so that kind of caused a little bit of Adrienne knew that, a little bit of apprehension on my part, because I felt like I was just because everything is going on. I mean, when Rob and I go up there, we're going to go up there next week. We did not change the plans. We're not scared of what's going on. If anything, we feel the frustration, and we understand the frustration, and we agree that the frustration is necessary. So it's not like we're just it is what it is. We're going up there and we're going to have a good time. It's going to be fun. Yes, Michelle, we will be talking about Welcome to America. We're going to be talking about that tonight. We're also going to be talking about, I got some breaking news that you guys are going to be the first to hear. Irene, what's going on? Laura from Italy, Venice, Italy. Man, thank you for tuning in. I don't know what time it is over in Italy, but thank you for tuning in. Again, for those of you just joining us, this is the pre-show. We will be going live at 8 o'clock, which is about 13 minutes from right now. So feel free to, if you want to fast forward, you absolutely positively can. Fast forward 13 minutes from right now, and we're going to start the show. And Rob will be joining us, and we're going to be talking about lots of fun stuff. We're going to be talking about the news because we'll be talking about the 2 releases that we got coming up from Prince. We'll be talking about the events that are going to be happening next week up in Chanhassen at Paisley Park and also outside of Paisley Park. And so we'll be talking about that. We'll be talking. And tonight, our special show is going to be the concerts, because tomorrow is the 5-year anniversary of Prince's final concerts that happened here in Atlanta. And I was at both of them, so I'm gonna tell that story, and we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna talk about my favorite concert moments, and then Rob's gonna talk about his favorite concert moments. And then after we do that, we're gonna open up the phone lines. Yes, we're gonna open up the phone lines because we want to hear your favorite concert moments, and it's gonna be so much fun. It's going to be amazing. Michelle asked if we were going to be going live next week. Yes, but we will not be having Funkatopia live next Tuesday. I know that I originally said that we were going to do that, but we have decided against that. I have decided against that. I just informed Rob that I had decided that. So we are going to not do the show on Tuesday night. And the primary reason being, what's going on here? The primary reasoning being we want to make sure we're going to be going live a lot when we're up in Minneapolis. Well, up in Chanhassen and Eden Prairie, and if we go to Minneapolis, we'll make sure that we do that live. So we'll go live at least a few times while we're up there in Minnesota. So we want to make sure that you can actually be part of that whole experience. So we are going to be going live. We will be going live. Jill's going to be there. She's going to be going live. And I know that Rob's going to be recording and I'm going to be recording. So both of us will be recording. We'll be doing it via StreamYard like we do here. So whenever we do the live events, it will go out onto YouTube and also Facebook. And if it gets nixed for whatever reason, this is the reason why I don't like going live right directly on Facebook, because if they nix us for whatever reason, it's going to be a mess. But if they do, we'll be able to recover the video from StreamYard and be able to repost it for you, and just take away whatever the opposing or offending issues are. And so that's kind of what the plan is. So we will be having the Candlelight Vigil. That's going to be done. I know they're doing a balloon release. We're going to be talking about that. And there's some other things that are going to be happening too. So we'll make sure that you're all part of that mix. And yeah, it's just kind of, I don't know. It's definitely one of those things where, again, there's so much going on right now in Minnesota, not just in Minneapolis, but just north of Minneapolis, up in Brooklyn Center, and so I can't. It's tough. It's really, really tough to. I'm actually watching. I've actually got. CNN's kind of doing some coverage up here as they're talking about some of the stuff that's going on with Brooklyn Center, and there's a lot of press that's up there, and there's a lot of people that are protesting up there right now because I guess the lady that accidentally shot Dwayne, what's his name? I can't remember his name. That accidentally shot the young man resigned, and so did the chief of police. So both of them resigned And they did a little bit of press conference, and most people were saying, you do not need to accept that resignation. Do not accept that resignation. You need to fire them so that they don't have an opportunity to be able to just step away and then get into another position. So it's just one of those things where it's tough. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of frustration, and we get it. And Dante, thank you. So it's just, it is what it is. Yeah. Do I need light? I don't think I need light. Do I? Do I need this light? Do you guys need me to have this light here? Or is this okay? This is kind of better, isn't it? This kind of seems like more homely. Which do you prefer? Light off, like we're right here, or light on? Which one do you need? Which one feels better to you? I kind of prefer light off. I want to be able to chill. Anyways, no light. There, you got the vote. Marcia, what's going on? Is it Marcia or Marcia? I don't know why I was kind of mix that up. Jasmine, Joanne, because I know a Marcia and I also know a Marcia. That's spelled just like yours. Elaine, Charlotte, anybody I did not say hi to. Misty, hello. Misty definitely said off. Terry, hello. I don't know who I said hello to and who I did not say hello to. It feels like I've covered everybody that is here. Irene, I don't think I got you. I think I was saying hello to Laura from Venice, Italy, and then you were right underneath her, and it just was what it was. So, anyways, Laura Guitar in the house. Hello. Yeah. So let me tell you something. It's going to be. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. We're not going to be talking about the stuff that's going on in Minneapolis right now. There's a lot to talk about there, but I don't feel like this is the right. This is not the right time. We're here to kind of reflect on the 5-year anniversary of Prince's final concerts here in Atlanta, and we want to talk about concert experience. We want to keep it positive. We want to keep it light. If you really want to envelop yourself in all the stuff that's going on there, please feel free to do so. CNN is just a click away. They're actually covering it here, and I just kind of wanted to, just if you feel like that's where you need to be, that's where your passions are right now, and you're not feeling connecting to what we're doing here tonight, then that's where to go. There's lots of stuff going on there. It's going to be amazing. We're going to have a lot of fun. A lot of fun tonight. I hope you guys are going to enjoy it too. And we're going to be talking about the news, and we got some special, again, as I mentioned, we got some special announcements that we're going to be making tonight. If you looked at the events calendar on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Funkatopia, you will see that the event that Rob and I were going to do at Perkins Pancake House on Thursday has been canceled, and it has been moved to a new location. It's been moved to a new location. So that all being said, you need to, if you are planning to be up in Chanhassen, I would highly suggest that you RSVP if you're planning on coming, because we have a new location. I'll be announcing the new location, but if you just want to go and you want to find out right now what it is, go to facebook.com/Funkatopia and click on the events, and you'll see that it is a brand new location that we're going to be at from 6 to 9 Central Standard Time. Screw it, I'll just say it. It's at Axel's Restaurant in Chanhassen. Axel's, AXELS, in Chanhassen. And Rob and I are going to be there. And the main reason why we're going to be there, and I'm going to announce this again, so I'll be redundant for this particular part. The main reason why we chose that place was because with Perkins, well, I don't want to go into all this detail, but we are, hey Lisa, what's going on? Sandra, the main reason why was primarily because with Axel's, they were able to give us a specific space just for us. And in this specific space also is a booth, Prince's booth. So Prince used to frequent this restaurant, and he had a booth at this restaurant. And so our area is going to be there with that booth at Axel's Restaurant. And again, it's from 6 to 9, and we're going to be able to hang out and have a good time. And it's going to be amazing. It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And it was just a better setup. It was just a better setup too than Perkins. With Perkins, they couldn't give us a specific area. And then on top of that, what ended up happening was we were then what ended up happening is that they just couldn't commit. They literally could not commit to, they was like, well, if everybody gets here in time, we'll try to seat you all together. And that's just simply just not going to work. And we don't want to pressure anybody into saying, you're here, you must eat pancakes. We want people to be able to hang out, be able to drink, be able to enjoy themselves, be able to eat if you want to eat. It's a little bit higher end of a restaurant, but it's going to be a lot of fun. What's going on? George is in the house. Da Funka Vinci is in the house. But yes, that's going to be Thursday night is what that's going to be in Chanhassen. We will live stream parts of that too. So if you get an opportunity to, so if you want to join in, you can absolutely do that. It's going to be fun. And yes, of course, if you wear a mask, if you are really you want to wear a mask, please absolutely wear a mask. We probably will be wearing masks. I am vaccinated. I've had both my vaccinations, Pfizer, not Johnson & Johnson. So I have been vaccinated, and Rob has had his first of 2 vaccinations, so he's feeling a lot more comfortable. But we're all still going to wear masks. We're just going to be comfortable and just and act accordingly and responsibly, so that we don't freak everybody out. But it's going to be amazing. Yeah, I happen to see, when I'm watching some of these, news conferences and whatnot, I happen to notice that it's freaking snowing, and I'm like watching these news conferences and it's snowing outside. I'm like, what? Oh man, are you serious? So I kind of get to go from this beautiful between 70 and 80 degree weather here in Atlanta up to Minneapolis, and it's going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts. What we got here? Oh, it's Wet Dream Cousin. Is what's playing now, which you guys are all familiar with. And I'm going to have to switch the audio here in just a second. And because we are literally, how soon are we away here? We are, of course, I don't have that right in front of me. Why would I have it right now? 49 seconds, we're going to start the show. And I hope you guys are going to be enjoying yourselves. And Rob is, because of the time, he's in Arizona. So this is technically 5 o'clock his time, I think. So I think it was or is it 6? I can't remember. Anyways, in Arizona, they don't do the time change. We do the time change. They do not do the time change. So it's kind of weird. But all that being said, he will be joining us any second. We're going to stop the music here for a second, and we'll be going live here in just a moment. Let me switch over the audio, and give me just a second. Here we go. We're going live. Oh.
The phone, trying to get rid of the phone.
Welcome, one and all. How's everybody doing tonight? It's Mr. Christopher with the Funkatopia Radio Show. I got to start bringing down some of this audio here because it is what it is. Welcome. Anybody has any problems hearing me, just kindly let me know. I'm going to go ahead and stop this audio. Welcome, one and all. It's Mr. Christopher with the Funkatopia Radio Show. Welcome to Funkatopia Live. It is going to be amazing. Chaz is in the house. What's going on? Princess Cousin Chaz is in the house. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for joining us. Rob will be joining us very, very soon. He'll be coming on, and we'll be doing a little bit of a split screen thing tonight. We have on tonight's episode, we have Funkatopia Live, where we'll be doing it. Okay, let me kind of explain this just a little bit. We are going to be doing Prince's. We're honoring Prince's concerts. We don't think we had an official title for this, but tomorrow marks the 5-year anniversary of Prince's final concerts here in Atlanta. These would be the final 2 performances that he would do. I was lucky and blessed enough to be at both of those. I've already said that a million times. I'm about to say it 1,000,001. I was blessed enough to be at both of those shows. I will tell that story, and I also will tell you my favorite Prince concert moment. And no, they're not the exact same thing, although it's pretty friggin' close. Anyways, so we're going to be talking about that. And then, of course, Rob will share his, I'm sure. And then on top of that, what's also going to be awesome is that I will be opening up the phone lines. So the phone lines will open up and we will take your phone calls and we will enjoy talking about your favorite Prince concert moments. And again, that is all to honor the one and only Prince. And it's going to be amazing. And we're going to be talking about all types of events that are going to be happening next week. We got a bunch of stuff that's going to be happening next week. Some stuff that's going to be happening directly in Chanhassen, some stuff that's going to be happening online, including Rodney Fitzgerald's event with Prince 365 A Celebration, which is not online. That's actually in person, but it's going to be partially online. And then Prince Day Houston is doing something. So we've got lots of stuff to talk about, lots of record releases, album releases. Yes, Craig, I see your text message. See, this is why sometimes you don't give out your phone number. I love you, Craig. I hope you're doing well over there in, I forgot where you're at, but you're like, you're far away. He's like overseas right now. I think he's still over there, but it's awesome. I'm so man. Here is Sash from Bournemouth, UK. We are doing this both in tandem. We're doing it on the radio that you're listening to here, the Funked Up app. If you're listening, you may be listening on the Funked Up app. You may be listening via Radionomy. You may be listening via a lot of different ways. Sometimes when the show is over, it goes to iHeartRadio. Lots of different places that you can listen to this radio show. Also, if you want to participate in the discussion, like via chat, you don't want to get on the phone, you're kind of freaked out by the phone, it's okay. You can go to facebook.com/Funkatopia and you can watch the video live of me kind of talking and chatting and performing and raising my hands. There's nothing really to watch other than a bunch of stuff and me moving my hands a lot. Or you can watch it on YouTube as well, youtube.com/C as in Chris /Funkatopia, youtube.com/C/Funkatopia, or you can just go to youtube.com and search for Funkatopia and you'll see the channel there. Let me also tell you this too. If you are a Funkatopia fan, please go to the YouTube channel and like the channel, please. Oh my God, please, please, please. It will allow us, once we get to a certain level, it will allow us to do so much more and actually get a wider audience and also have a more extended reach. So if you really appreciate Funkatopia, please go to YouTube and follow us. If you visited the channel and you haven't liked us, just click on that like button. If you're watching on YouTube right now, click that like button. I'm looking at all these fine folks here in the chat rooms. I can see, we do this via StreamYard, so I can see all the comments from both Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So it's all just right here. So thank you to all the people that are in here. So many people here and so many more people just listening to the audio version. I appreciate it. So we got a lot of great stuff to talk about tonight, and I hope everybody is doing well. But again, that's what we're doing tonight. We're going to be honoring the 5-year anniversary of Prince's final concerts that were performed right here in Atlanta on April 14th, 2016. There will be the final 2 concerts that he would ever do. We're going to be talking about that, and we're going to be talking about your favorite Prince concert experiences. And that's what's going to be happening tonight on the show. But first, we got news. We got lots of news to talk about tonight. And we're going to be talking about, obviously, the releases and all this other stuff that I mentioned that we're going to be talking about. So let's go ahead and break into it, shall we? It's important that I break out this specific tab here because I want to make sure this tab is separate so I can see Rob coming in, because he may actually join us here, and we'll and when he does, he's going to be putting up photos and whatnot, and it's going to be great. Or maybe I'm trying to also keep an eye on the text message in case he's having some type of issue. But anyways, we talked about tonight, but let's talk about next week. Next week on Wednesday is the 5-year anniversary of Prince's passing. It's when he moved on from this plane to the next plane. So it's a sad and retrospective moment for a lot of people. It's very, very tough for myself. It's very tough for a lot of people, everybody in this room. We've all been through it. It's been very, very difficult. I think what also makes it difficult too is that it's good to have a family like this where we can all grieve together and we can all remember together and we can all just be together and just kind of reflect on the moment. This Funkatopia has been around since the late 90s. In various forms or fashion. We've been kind of here, there, and everywhere. Lucky enough that Prince was actually a part of Funkatopia. He called us out many times. He tweeted about us many times. He just it seemed like he was always there to support Funkatopia, and I can't tell you how much that meant to me. And obviously, it was great. It was good to be acknowledged by him. And I know there's a lot of people that are online that were acknowledged by him, but it's just a cool moment. And well, actually multiple moments, because he did it multiple times. But anyways, next week on Wednesday, which is April 21st, is the 5-year anniversary of Prince's passing. And we are going to change plans as far as Funkatopia Live is concerned. We were going to do our show on Funkatopia Live on Tuesday night before we flew out on Wednesday, but we have decided against that. We're not going to be doing that on Tuesday night. So no Funkatopia Live next Tuesday. And the reason for that is because we are going to be going live at Paisley Park at Chanhassen. So we're going to be doing live shows off and on the whole time that we're in Minneapolis. So, in Minnesota. We'll spend very, very little time in Minneapolis. Most of the time is going to be in Chanhassen and Eden Prairie. And of course, just little places here and there. Anyways, all that being said, so expect to be able to see a lot of things online. And obviously we're going to give people who are there, actually physically there, opportunities to hang out with us. And it's going to be fun. So I hope that you will join us. And we'll tell you about those opportunities. Anyways, and the other thing too is that we have to leave early in the morning on Wednesday, so we don't need to be having these super late nights on Tuesday nights. Just because I think Rob's plane leaves Arizona at 6 a.m. on Wednesday, so that means I don't know where he's at in regards to the airport, but I would assume that means he's got to wake up at least by 4, which is ridiculous. So I don't want to do that to him, and give them opportunities to spend time with his wife and whatnot, and mine too. I get it. Anyways. There is a memoriam, a Paisley Park memoriam that is happening at Paisley Park next week on Wednesday. That, if I remember correctly on the times, it's from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Again, that's 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And what is going to be happening is they've allotted tickets to people who said that they're going to attend, and then people will be able to go in and view Prince's ashes. I guess I last time that I remember, they had put his ashes in a small replica of Paisley Park, and it was in this plastic display. And at one point, when they first started doing the tours after his passing, they put it in the middle of the atrium. And then they moved it from there above the kitchen area right next to the atrium. So it was sitting up there for a while. And then I guess now they're bringing it down again. I don't know. I don't know what the scenario is, but if you have tickets, you get to go in for a period of 15 minutes. That's it. You just get to go in for 15 minutes, and that's all. And then I'm sure that they will guide you through to the gift shop, which is probably not going to be timed. They're probably not going to time you in the gift shop. If you're in the gift shop, you can probably stay as long as you want, as long as you're buying stuff. I'm not being disrespectful when I say that at all. I'm saying, if you're going to have people that are going to be coming into Paisley Park and you're not going to be doing tours on that day, which they're not, and you're only going to be allowing people to come in for 15 minutes and kind of be at peace and then kind of go, it's an opportunity to sell merchandise. I'm sorry. You can take it any way that you want. The reality of it is that they need to be able to keep the doors open. And so there's got to be an opportunity for them to be able to kind of monetarily benefit. I can't find the right words for this at all. I don't know. I don't know what the words are. They'll guide you out through the gift shop, I'm sure. And then, so that's really all that Paisley Park is doing. You come in for 15 minutes, you do your thing, you focus on, that's it. That's all you do. You just come in for 15 minutes and you just that's it. So that all being said, Rob and I will be there. I happen to have a contact who was able to get a hold of one ticket for me. One ticket. I have not been able to get a ticket for Rob, so I'm working on that. But so that's basically how it's going to go down. We'll have a ticket. Hopefully we'll be able to get a second ticket, and then we'll both be able to go. Either way, both of us are on the waiting list, so we'll just hopefully, and we got on the waiting list relatively early, so we'll just keep it up. We'll just, it's a moment. Again, there's still some people who, we did that special. I guess it was, I don't know, Chaz, how long ago was it? We did a special on Prince's passing months ago, and I mentioned that I would never discuss it again until there was new information that was officially released through a media source, because it was just really, in all honesty, it was primarily a lot of speculation. That's all that it was, is just a lot of speculation. There was no, definitive, there's a lot of people that have, specific thoughts. There's a lot of people that have a wealth of conspiracy theories around his death. And there are some people, I will tell you that I know for a fact that there are some people who know a bunch of details about the truth of his passing. And the time will come where those people will actually share what those details are, because even if none of it changes, he's still no longer with us, and that's not going to change. But the truth of the matter will eventually come to light. The truth of the matter will eventually come out, because even no matter how layman that you look at the scenario, how layman you look at the situation, there's a bunch that is just head scratching not right. You know it. I know it. There's a bunch of details surrounding Prince's passing that does not match up. It doesn't match up. It doesn't marry. It's not. There's some stuff that don't make no sense. Okay. Yeah. And we're eventually going to find out what those details are. And when that time comes, I'll do another show. I'll talk about it. That's just the reality of it. So all that being said, I'm sure that we will be talking about Prince's passing in the near future. I'm sure that we will. There's information coming. I'm sure of it. And people that knew stuff that, is what it is. Anyways. All right. So let's just move on, shall we? Let's move forward, and we'll talk about this a little bit. Let's talk about the memoriam that is going to be in place at Paisley Park and some other events that are happening at the same time. So there are a few things happening. What I did mention about Paisley Park, and allowing people to come in for 15 minutes. I see people asking, what time is your walkthrough? I think the ticket that I was told, I have not seen this ticket, but I believe it's 4:15. Central Standard Time is when I'm supposed to be doing it. But I don't know. I have not seen the ticket. That's the only confirmation as I have is somebody saying that it's done. We're good. Anyways, let's go through the events that are not endorsed or being held by Paisley Park, because that moment, that memoriam piece, whatever it is with the urn, and I think I saw somebody mention here something about the urn. I want to say it was probably April. April is our Facebook producer. I don't know that our Facebook page would have any activity if it wasn't for April. She's amazing. She's like posting all the time. According to Sharon, she says they are removing his urn from the vault and putting it back to the atrium. So that is what's going on with the urn as far as that's concerned. But again, you just you have to accept it for what it is. And that's what Paisley Park is doing. People are being able to come in. They're going to come in. They're going to enjoy it. Spend 15 minutes in there saying their piece. A lot of It's going to be very, very heavy, very, very heavy. If it's not heavy enough, the thickness in the air is palpable in Minnesota right now. I can't, I can't even begin to process or even kind of discuss exactly how much of a problem that Minnesota police have right now. It's insane. So again, I'm not going to talk about it because I'm trying to keep this light, but of course we are talking about Prince's passing and the anniversary of that. So we can only kind of keep it light for a little bit, but we're going to get out of this. Then we're going to be talking about Prince's concerts. Okay, so let's talk about the events that are happening that are not endorsed or being held by Paisley Park. That's the only thing they're doing. They're not doing anything else that I'm aware of. And before I start, I do want to chat for just a second about WWPD. What would Prince do? It's very friggin' annoying. And I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it in the chat room. I don't want to, I don't, it's just stop. There's very, very few people here in the chat room that could tell me exactly what Prince would or would not have wanted. End of story, period. End of story. I know Chaz is probably one of them, but there's very, very few people that are in this room that could tell, because even things that Prince said he was against, he would do the exact opposite a decade later. So he was very controversial in that way. He would be okay one time, and then he would be okay with something 1 minute, and then he wouldn't be okay with it the second. He would be okay with something 1 minute, and then he wouldn't be okay with it the second. So what, you have no idea what Prince would have wanted, what he would not have wanted. He's been very, very vocal about a lot of things, but I do not want to hear what would Prince do. Oh my God, I do not want to hear it. It's exhausting. It really is exhausting. So we're just going to be talking about the events that are happening. And if it's not for you, cool, then don't go. That's it, really, I guess. So love you all. I love you all very, very dearly. But, that's just the reality of it. At 2 p.m. on that Wednesday at 2 p.m. is going to be a balloon release. This is the reason why I preface this with what would Prince do, because I saw a lot of, again, this is not affiliated with Paisley Park. It's going to be happening at Paisley Park, apparently at the fence or around the fence or around Paisley Park, but it has nothing to do with Paisley Park. They're going to be doing a balloon release. And I've seen a lot of back and forth about this balloon release that they're doing at 2 p.m. This is Central Standard Time at Paisley Park. I've seen everybody saying how bad it is for the environment and for the atmosphere, and that once they pop and they come back down, they land in the woods and they're dangerous to animals. And this, okay, I'm not speaking to any of that. I'm not speaking to any of that. Here's what I can tell you. What I can tell you is it's happening at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time at Paisley Park. They're doing a big balloon release. It's probably going to be very beautiful, seeing all these really colorful balloons, and we'll just kind of just not worry about what, it's I don't know what to tell you. You can be upset. You can not be upset. Is it okay to be upset? Are you cool? Is everything fine? What's going to happen with the balloons? Is it going to choke squirrels? I don't know. I can't tell you. There's a balloon release at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time at Paisley Park. And so if you're down for that, it's probably going to be pretty pretty to see. Ooh, I'll film it. I'm going to live video it. I'm not participating. I'm not bringing balloons. I've got enough stuff going on. I don't need balloons for this mix. So I'm not doing it, but I will record it and I will show you how pretty it is, and I'll fade it out before it chokes any squirrels. So you won't be able to see any of the hardcore stuff. There's that 2 p.m. That's on Wednesday. So you could probably expect to see some live footage of that. At 7 p.m., that day, there are two events. One that's actually physically happening, and he's also live streaming it as well, and one that's only online. So the first event that's happening at 7 p.m. next Wednesday is we're going to talk about that one first because that's in person. Is that Rodney Fitzgerald, good friend of mine, Prince 365 A Celebration, is doing an event at Perkins Pancake House in Chaska at 7 p.m. He's just doing a live show, and it's going to be doing it for about an hour. He's going to be hanging out, and that's going to be really about it. There's nothing really, massive. There's no, DJs or anything that's going to be happening during this thing. I think he may have a special guest or something, but other than that, if you are a member of Prince 365 A Celebration, you can watch it. You can check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be great. Definitely check it out. And you can just look on Facebook and search for Prince 365 A Celebration, and you can actually see more information about that event. I think you got to scroll down a little bit on it. And I don't even know if I think I went there and I didn't really see much out there in regards to that. But anyways, that all being said, also at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, conflict, you had to make a decision. Am I going to Perkins Pancake House to hang out with Rodney, or am I going to be online and I'm going to be chilling with Prince Day Houston? Which one of the two am I doing? Well, Prince Day Houston, let me tell you what they're doing. They're doing it only online, and they're going to have live DJ. It's free. Just like Rodney's event, it's also free. They're going to be having live DJs, live music, live art, and also very special guest, Jerome Benton. So they are doing an online event that's going to be featuring Jerome and live DJs and live music and everything else. If you're going to be actually physically in Chanhassen, Chaska's not too far away. The Perkins Pancake House down there is not too far away. So you can actually hang out with Rodney and actually get, some one-on-one and stuff and hang out and have a good time. Or if you're not going to be able to make it at all, you could do either one. You could watch Rodney's thing online, or you can go to get tickets for this event that's going to have Jerome Benton and live DJs and live music and live art. And that is, you want tickets on that. Sometimes it snows in April.eventbrite.com. That's BRITE.com. Sometimes it snows in April.eventbrite.com. So you can get tickets for that, and you can actually watch that online. Okay. It's a free event, and it's a lot of fun. And there was actually, again, if Rob was here, he would be able to show you the images and whatnot that are on here. I want to show you some images, but that's Rob's job, and he's not here. And I've been watching the text. I hope he's okay, because it's 8:24 now, and I have not seen any text. I have not seen anything. So I hope he's all right. We'll hopefully see him in just a little bit, or maybe he got off time and he was under the impression that he's going to show up at like 9 o'clock. That's probably what's going to end up happening, but that's okay. We still got stuff to talk about. So those are the events that are happening there. However, later that night at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, right across the street from Paisley Park, again, not endorsed by Paisley Park, right across the street from Paisley Park at the Riley Creek Bridge, which is at the park that's, I don't know if any of you have ever been to Paisley Park. There's a main road that's right there that's called Audubon Road. And on the other side, if you stood out in Paisley Park and you threw a rock really, really hard across the street, you would probably be able to hit Riley Creek Bridge. And there's a path that runs in front of the fence in front of Paisley Park. And if you go out to the fence in front of Paisley Park and you walk down that golf cart path type of thing, in front of Paisley Park, it goes that golf cart path. Why is that so hard to say? That golf cart path goes down, and then it goes under Audubon Road. And then when it comes out the other side, you kind of go around the bend, and Riley Creek Bridge is right there. There's actually two bridges that are right there, but they're right next to each other. You basically walk through one, and this is also famously called Graffiti Bridge because everybody goes in there and they have graffitied all of both of the tunnels there. And it's really cathartic to go there because it's one of these places that it's a bunch of people that are, it's a bunch of people that have gone there to grieve and gone there to memorialize Prince. And not only is the bridges, the inside of the tunnels, because you kind of go under the bridge and it's kind of like a tunnel. And that whole tunnel is all graffitied. And the next one also is all graffitied. And the outside of the tunnels before you go in them are graffitied. And all the fences around and near the near those tunnels have all types of memorials, all types of pictures, and just all kinds of things. So it's very, very cool, and it's very awesome. And we are going to be doing, Funkatopia is going to be doing a Candlelight Vigil for Prince at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time there. We'll probably be there from like 9 to 10:30, I would imagine. That's going to be, I think, our window. But you can bring your own candles if you want to, but we are bringing candles, just so you know. We actually have ordered 80. This kind of looks blue in the camera, but this is 80 purple candles. So we will have 80 purple candles, and then on top of that, we will have like probably 100 plus, 150 plus more that are white candles. So if you're the first 80 people to get there, you get a purple candle, and then after that, you'll get a white candle. Or you can bring your own candle if you want some kind of special type of candle. You can do that too. But we are going to be, I will be speaking there. So once everybody kind of gets there, I'm assuming at 9:20, 9:30ish, I'll be getting there and I'll be speaking, and we're going to have some special guests that are going to be coming as well. I can't tell you who all the special guests will be, but one of them is going to be Prince's cousin, Chaz. Chaz is going to be there, and he's also going to speak at that conference as well. At the Candlelight Vigil as well. So it's pretty much going to be myself and Rob and Chaz, and we're going to speak a little bit. And then we're, of course, at some point in time, we'll figure out when it's before we start talking or after we start talking, we're all going to light the candles, and then we're just going to kind of just mill around and just take in everything. Just kind of open up spiritually, let the moment take over. You feel like you've got to, let it all out. You can do that. If you feel like, you want to sing, you can do that too. One of the things I will tell you is that when you get there, we will be telling everybody when we give you your candle, we'll be telling everybody to download the Funked Up app. If you do not have the Funked Up app, download the Funked Up app, and everybody needs to be playing the Funked Up app. Because the Funked Up app I will have a special selection of music that will be playing during that time. So everybody will have everybody's phones out, and everybody will be playing the app at the exact same time. And we'll have a bunch of, the really hand selected music. So you're going to hear all the stuff like Revelation, and you're going to hear stuff like Sometimes It Snows in April. You'll probably hear Purple Rain. You'll probably hear all these really specific, special songs that are really designed for kind of, that are really going to be complementing the overall experience. And so we're going to have lots of music there. Everybody's going to have music on their phones. Everybody's going to be, listening to it on the Funked Up app. So we're going to have really really special commercial-free moment that's going to be happening in that window. So I hope that you will tune in. Actually, that entire day of Wednesday, we'll be playing all Prince. It will be 24 hours of Prince. So we'll be playing that all day. But during that window from 9 o'clock to probably about 8:30 to 10:30, that 2-hour window, it's going to be a very, very specific hand-selected music from Prince's catalog that will really kind of accentuate the moment and kind of, help everybody along. I've been asked a million times, is it going to be live streamed? Yes, it will be live streamed. I know that there will be tons of people that will individually live stream it. Rob is planning on live streaming it. I will be live streaming it. And again, our special guest Chaz is going to be there. He's going to be, talking a lot. And so it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a really good moment. It's going to be a very cathartic moment, a very healing moment. And we hope that, and if you're there, please come. If you RSVP, because it's on the event calendar, RSVP, please, please, please. So that's going to be the Candlelight Vigil at Riley Creek Bridge, which is right across the street from Paisley Park. If you've never been to Riley Creek Bridge and you're kind of like, I wish I knew how to get there, because there's really no directions to get to Riley Creek Bridge, because it's just kind of like a landmark. It's not really an address per se, because it's part of a park. I think it's Riley Park, right? But anyways, if you are lucky enough to be able to park somewhere over by Paisley Park, perfectly fine. But we actually have a picture of an overhead picture that I would show you right now, but Rob's not here. An overhead picture that I'll share on Facebook showing you where to park. All you got to do is just go to the parking lot right there at the park. You enter into, is it Riley Park? The name of the park is Riley Park, right? Or is it St. Anne Park? Jill, maybe you're right. I don't know. It's the park that's right across the street from Paisley Park. And when you go over there, you can park in the parking lot, and then you can just get out and walk down the golf path down to Riley Creek Bridge. And there's plenty of parking there, So I want to make sure that you guys get to join us there. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be great. It's going to be a great moment. We're doing everything we possibly can to try to make this as special of a moment and momentous of a moment as we possibly can. So if you're going to be there in Chanhassen, please join us. It's going to be great. And yes, we will live stream it, and all the talking and all that stuff. And then to close out Wednesday, if that's not a closer enough, my boy and your boy, Alfonso Starr, he is, that's how he introduces himself. He says, yo boy, Alfonso Starr. He is going to be doing an event at, he is doing an event at Hula Hands. Well, I think that's Chanhassen. I'm not exactly sure the city. He didn't even announce it on his, Alfonso, if you're listening, and I know you are, your post doesn't say which Hula Hands, but I'm assuming it's a Hula Hands that's right there in Chanhassen, Hula Hands in Chanhassen. You can actually go there, and it's going to be pretty awesome. He's going to be there. He's actually going to be there at 10 o'clock that night, but we won't be there till 10:30 because we're going to have to go there. We need to make sure that everybody cleans up and picks up their candle and doesn't trash Riley Creek Bridge. And not that anybody would, but sometimes you're accidentally careless. Maybe you drop stuff or drop trash or something came out of your pocket and you didn't realize it. We want to make sure that we left Riley Creek Bridge even nicer than when we got there. We want to make sure that all the candles, we're going to have a bucket that will have water in it that people can put, or sand or something that people can put the candles in, so we can make sure that there's no fires or anything. So we're trying to be respectful of the whole area and whatnot. So there it is. We did some cleaning. Aaron, thank you. Aaron, I'm so bummed out, Aaron, that you're not going to be there in Chanhassen. Aaron's one of my favorite people. She says, yes, Chanhassen Hula Hands. So that is, yes, we're going to be cleaners, Andre. Yes. So after the vigil, we will go to Hula Hands to hang out with Alfonso. He said to RSVP, but Alfonso, you're just going to have to just take this this dialogue right here as an RSVP. That's just all there is to it. Just got to. Yes. And Jill says she's and now 35 minutes late. Ladies and gentlemen, and there's no audio on you either.
What?
Oh, now okay. So you were laughing quietly.
Yes, like that dog, Mumbly.
I have a very low signal on you too, a low signal. So you need to
low signal.
A little bit closer to the microphone.
That's not me, man. I got a strong signal.
If you say so. Rob Rhythm's in the house. What was going on, man? Thank you for coming.
It's nothing, man. I'm just gonna be fired tomorrow. It's cool.
Are you serious right now?
No. At least I don't think so. There's this huge project I've been working on for a while, and they keep adding stuff, changing the parameters and adding stuff. And like today, our VPN went down. Hey, what's up, everybody? Today, our VPN went down for hours, and I'm not supposed to have any data on my computer. So I'm like trying to work with like Excel and it's not working. And yeah, so tomorrow's going to be fun. So, but hey, yes, Rob did get a haircut.
Yeah, and I think everybody on everybody on StreamYard and maybe YouTube and everybody can hear you, but I don't think you're not coming through at all on the making sure I didn't do anything wrong.
You did something wrong.
I may have, but you're not coming through on the radio itself.
No?
No. Oh wait.
Oh, the background?
Hold on a second. Give me another test.
Test. Check out my background.
There you are. Okay, there you are.
All
Look
right.
at you.
Andre, you weren't here when I talked about the background?
Yeah. I don't think he was. I think he was getting high.
He was probably here and high and just,
Well, so Andre's either high or naked. High or naked.
Never both at the same time. That's probably good.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. So
just a brief answer to your question. That's from the 2004 tour. Pretty sure that was the Rainbow Children tour. And
One Night Alone. Yes.
What?
One Night Alone. That was that tour.
But basically it was
Rainbow Children.
Yeah.
I call it the Rainbow Children tour too. I don't know.
Anyway, the guys were going to throw it away, and I was like, they were like, we don't want to take this back with us. It's too much stuff. And I was like, I'll take it. So,
oh my God.
There it is.
So for those of you joining on radio, Andre asked.
Nakia says I need to be docked. She's right.
Yes, Nakia. Anyways. Welcome, Rob. Welcome, one and all. I can hear you. It's great. I'm glad you're doing well because, man, I needed some
support.
Yeah, I needed some support. There was like some photos that would have been really cool to show. I was like, damn it. I can't figure out how to put this crowd on pause so that I can figure out the best way to do it. But I got to.
Are they in your notes?
It doesn't matter. We're further down. I am down here on page 3. Yes, we share documents. Is it 3? No, it's page 2, where I say that's it for Wednesday.
That's it for Wednesday.
That's it for Wednesday. And now I'm moving on to a special announcement. Yes, even Rob doesn't know this announcement yet. But on Thursday, so there was all your events for Wednesday. 2 p.m. we got the big event on Paisley Park from 9 to 9 Central Standard Time, where they're going to be allowing people to come in and just kind of doing a viewing for 15 minutes, and then guiding you out through the gift shop. Then they're going to be doing then at 2:00 there is a balloon release that's happening.
You got to relieve those balloons, man. They're under so much pressure.
It has nothing. Oh God. Ladies and gentlemen, dad jokes. So anyways, 2 p.m. They're going to do the balloon release. Has nothing to do with Paisley Park. 7 p.m. you have 2 conflicting events. You have Rodney Fitzgerald's event that's going to be happening at Perkins Pancake House in Chaska, where he's doing a live event. It's going to be there hanging out, doing a live show for an hour and then hanging out. And also at 7 p.m., Prince Day Houston is doing an online event where you can get tickets at Sometimes It Snows in April.eventbrite.com, which is live DJs, live music, live art, and special guest Jerome Benton. And that's all 7 p.m. That's going to be online. And then at 9 p.m., we're doing the Candlelight Vigil at Riley Creek Bridge, which we just talked about. We were talking about these lovely purple candles that will be, see how pretty they are. Ooh, ooh. The purple candles.
Oh, wow. Those are nice.
Yes. Purple candles that we have 80 of, and we have a bunch of white candles. It'll be a great event with special guest Charles Chaz Smith is going to be in there. Prince's cousin is going to be there. And then afterwards, you have Alfonso's event at Hula Hands, which you need to RSVP for. Just find Alfonso Star with 2 R's on Facebook, and you can RSVP to go hang out at Hula Hands. That starts at 10, but we're not going to be there for like 10:30 because we just got to clean up and whatnot. So that was a recap for Wednesday. Thursday.
Cleaning up?
Thursday, yes, because we got to make sure that people put candles in a bucket and that there's no fires and nobody's trashed anything. We want to make sure that
That's no fun. But
because from what I understand, also we may possibly have a couple other special guests. The sheriff is probably going to be there. The mayor is probably going to be there. So we got like all these people that are supposed to be showing up. So we definitely want to make sure that we leave a good impression, and anybody who wants to hang out and help us, I'll figure out something. I don't know.
And they're going to be well behaved too.
Yes. Well, I can't promise that, but
I'm making sure.
Yeah. I don't see any type of debaucherous activity happening at a memoriam, but that's okay.
I don't either, but
Could be wrong. We
it's
are
crazy.
Rob and Chris.
Right.
Who knows?
We're not like we were in our 20s, man. Not our no. No, we should be fine.
No, yeah. I mean, we still are like we are in our 20s, but
Well,
we just have more guilt about it.
we got more to lose now. We're less likely to do the crazy shit.
There's a lot more on the line. On Thursday, there's one event. One event on Thursday. One single event. And that is because that's all that Rob and I are doing something really, really cool on Friday, but I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't want you guys to be jealous, but we'll tell you the stories afterwards.
And we've never done it before.
That's true. We have not. And Andre is nothing sexual or naked or anything.
I'm surprised. I put that out there for Andre and nothing.
We're not in our 20s anymore.
Experimental time is over.
More dad jokes. Here we go. Anyways.
I don't think that's a dad joke.
Yeah, it's just dad to dad joke.
It's just a bad taste joke.
Nothing new here. Thursday, there's one event. If you have been following the events on Facebook, you probably saw that Rob and I were going to be doing an event at Perkins Pancake House. I'm not even going to mention the location because it's canceled. We have canceled that event because one of the reasoning was that I contacted Perkins Pancake House. They were going to allow us to have a back room where all of us could kind of hang out. And, I think they said we could cap out at like 3 dozen people or something like that due to COVID restrictions. And so it's going to be really neat to be able to have all these people hanging out. We want to be responsible. We don't want to freak people out because we know that people are still freaked out by COVID, as you should be. I am fully vaccinated. Rob is half vaccinated. He's gotten one of his 2 shots, but we're still going to be wearing masks. We're still going to be cool and make sure that everybody's comfortable. And so, and we don't know how many people who have been vaccinated with the Johnson & Johnson stuff. So we just got to make sure that we know who.
I got a new mask.
Oh my God.
Like it.
Oh my God. For those on the radio, Rob has gotten a mask now that is an animated mask that as he talks or laughs, it actually has a digital or display.
Not very comfortable.
Display. Sorry, I wasn't ready for the world.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my God, that thing looks ridiculous.
It does. It looks totally ridiculous. That's why I love it.
Yes, and I don't blame you because it's amazing. And of course, I do not have the. I'll have Funkatopia mask. I'll have a Funkatopia mask because you'll be able to.
Oh yeah, there's like holiday shit and stuff too. Like,
well, Jill said,
and then you have this weird face. I don't know why you need 2 faces on your face. That's strange to me. And there's other faces. There's like a Lego face. I don't know what the hell that is. That's really creepy.
So if everybody could bring their Lynn's like merch. Yeah. So anyway, so there's that. Anyway, so we canceled that event at Perkins, and all that to tell you, we canceled.
You're like Rob. Maybe you shouldn't have joined.
No, it's all right. I'm pleasantly distracted. It's great. So what we'll be doing, here we go. We have actually located a new location and Chaz is going to be joining us there as well. But we are going to be at Axel's restaurant in Chanhassen. It's called Axel's. But we actually have. Are you listening to me on something?
No, I accidentally touched something wrong.
I feel like an actual radio disc jockey. Can you turn your radio down? Joining us there as well.
Damn.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to respond to somebody who asked me about the mask. Whoever asked me about the mask, I'll put something up there later.
Okay.
It's causing Chris too much heartache.
No, it's just people are thinking there's a problem with their audio, and it's not.
There's a problem with Rob.
It's you. Anyways, so we'll be at Axel's restaurant in Chanhassen. Here's what I can tell you. First off, Axel's is going to have a special area just for us. So you guys will be able to come in and hang out with us. So, and here's another thing that's really, really cool about this area of Axel's is that Prince used to frequent Axel's, and the area that we will be in will be right next to Prince's booth in Axel's. So
we don't get his booth?
I don't know if it's roped off or not.
Oh, okay.
I just know that
no one goes in there anymore. Got it.
I'm sure that if it's there, people are going to do whatever. But anyways, it's going to be a cool area where Prince used to dine, the whole area there. I can't remember what the cap out is. I want to say it's somewhere between 2 and 3 dozen. Of course, that's not like a big number, but we're talking about a Thursday night in Chanhassen. So I don't even know how many people are even going to be out there or whoever's still going to be in town after the celebration. However, but there is going to be a special area. We're going to be joined by Chaz, and we are going to be we're going to be hanging out. So everybody come. It's a bar. It's going to be cool. It's going to be very, very awesome. Chaz says, my wife asked for the booth to be available for all of you when she made the reservation. Yes. So Chaz's wife, Victoria.
Thanks, Chaz.
Chaz's wife, Victoria, actually made the reservation, got it all hooked up. Everything's done. Everything's there. So shout out to Chaz and Victoria for handling this and making it so that we had a venue that was served food, but also served drinks. Is not going to be sweating who's sitting where and what's up, blah, 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 blah. So everybody can just hang out and have a good time. And that wasn't what we were getting from Perkins. So we've moved. So here's what I can tell you. The event page is on Facebook, facebook.com/Funkatopia. Please, if you're planning on RSVP, even if you RSVP to the last one, it doesn't matter because that event was canceled. Please re-RSVP on this new place because if you don't, you might get blocked out. And I don't know what the cap is. And please do not RSVP if you're not really sure. I don't know if I'm going to be able to come. We need to make sure that you're going to be there. So that's going to be, there's that. But that's going to be really, really cool. It's going to be awesome that we're going to get that, Prince's booth and be able to hang out there where Prince used to hang out. And again, due to COVID restrictions and everybody's comfort, we want to make sure that everybody wears masks and whatever and just kind of hang out and whatnot. Yes. And of course, as I said, Chaz is going to be there and we're going to be hanging out. And yes, I will be doing a live broadcast from there. Did you ever get your gimbal or whatever?
I don't talk about my gimbal in public, man.
Well, I've got a really
actually, it literally arrived like an hour ago. So yeah.
Oh, cool. So I'm gonna.
So I don't know how to make it work, but yeah, I got one.
I used to have a really big gimbal, and then once I crossed 40, no, I'm just kidding. I will. I'm gonna order a gimbal, so that we actually have some decent, non-shaking.
You're gonna have 2 gimbals.
Yes, because we're going to be doing both for the Candlelight Vigil and for this event and for any other time we actually go. We're doing StreamYard so that we can go live on Facebook, we can go live on YouTube, and you can actually, like for instance in the Candlelight Vigil, you can have your phone pointed at me if I'm talking, or I can have it pointed at you while you're talking, and one person can be scanning the audience, walking through the audience, and one person can be, so we can have like 2 different views at the same time going, and it should be pretty awesome. I'm thinking.
Okay, yeah, fine, yeah, whatever. We haven't talked about it, but sure, whatever.
And anybody else that wants to live feed, sure.
Yeah,
I might, get Jill. I might give Jill the StreamYard code so that she can also do her. She can also walk around with the crowd and also broadcast right here in StreamYard. I don't know. We are going to do whatever. So, anyways,
as always,
there is all your events, and there are other things that we're going to be doing. I know that Rob and I are going to be hanging out quite a bit with a fam up there, family. I know we're hanging out with Chaz. I know we're not just at these events, but also outside of it as well. We're going to be going to Cheapo Records. We're going to do some vinyl shopping. We're talking about going to the George Floyd Memorial, but we're kind of keeping an eye on everything and just kind of playing things by ear because it's pretty, I don't know what's happening up there, man, but we want, it's messed up, but we want to be cognizant of everybody's feelings and be respectful of the situation. And so there's that. But I did see a couple of news conferences from up in Minneapolis, and they were doing news conferences and it was snowing. So I was like, I was not expecting that. I thought that their weather was like our weather here in Atlanta, but I'm wrong. It's snowing there right now.
Yeah, I'm not down for that.
It's probably just weird. Maybe it's
in the 90s here.
I know we're like
I'm so totally not ready for
years. It's like weird. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to have a lot of fun up there. So let's move forward because we only got a couple more things to talk about. And then we're going to be talking about what we are here to do. I can't believe we're already been going for the better part of an hour, but it is what it is. So
it feels like 20 minutes to me.
Thank you. See, I have a special fam who just brought me cookies.
Damn. Nobody brings me shit when I'm in here. They text me. They're like, dinner's ready. I'm like, well, that's nice for you.
Patricia says the snow won't stay. So we'll see how it goes.
The cold looks like it's staying.
It does.
That's 60 degrees colder than it is here.
So we want to wrap up this thing so we got to be done here by 9 so that we can start talking about the concerts, the actual concert stuff. That's what we want to talk about. Sometimes we talk about the news and whatnot, and I feel like I wish I could do like 2 separate broadcasts, but to talk about news and then talk about this, but it's all Prince news, so it's all good. So we have 2 releases coming up for Prince coming up here. That is amazing. 2 releases, not 1, but 2. Both are one is way more exciting than the other. But one is way more exciting than the other. The first, which being that was actually the first one announced too, was the vinyl release of The Truth that is coming out on Record Store Day, which drops on June 12th. And I am this is a great album. That was just straight out. It's a great album. Let me pull up the I want to actually pull up the track list for The Truth here. And now you're here and the images still aren't coming. It's really fun.
I just realized that. I'm working on it, man.
Oh my God, man. It's like,
I asked you where they were and you were just like,
when you came into the show and you said, I'm going to be fired tomorrow. I didn't realize you were talking about here. I thought you were talking about your actual show. Or your actual job. All right, so let me pull this up. Prince Truth, because I can't remember all that. Fine. So the Truth album is an amazing album. For those that was just kind of packaged in with other albums, and it was just kind of like this afterthought, which is really kind of, it's not an afterthought, but he added it in because I guess the album that it was supposed to, it would drop with Crystal Ball and I guess because there was a delay, he threw in The Truth to kind of, make it a special thing, and then it ended up becoming, what it is now. But you've got Circle of Amour, you've got, Animal Kingdom on here, which is a great song, One of Your Tears, The Other Side of the Pillow, Man in a Uniform, there's Don't Play Me, I love that song. But there are so many great songs that are on this album, and it's finally getting a vinyl treatment. So we got that announcement on Record Store Day, and I think I'd shared a few weeks ago that I had heard a rumor about the release of, I mean, unless they're planning on doing some kind of, hit and run type of release for the audio for the final concert in Atlanta to land on the 5-year anniversary of, which is tomorrow. I highly doubt this is happening. So unless it plans to pop up on Tidal or something for, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure, but I had heard that rumor, and apparently that rumor is not true. So, which is kind of disappointing. I was really looking forward to having an actual official release for the final concert in Atlanta, which we'll be talking about in just a second. But, anyways, we did get this. We get the vinyl for The Truth, which is going to be awesome. But what's more important than that, in my opinion, my personal opinion, is the other release that everyone is losing their mind about, which rightfully so, is the release of the album Welcome to America. It was supposed to be released in 2010. It did not get released in 2010. And, that's because he sat on it. He just changed his mind and just kind of moved on because I don't know if did you get an opportunity to see the 60-minute special?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So on the 60-minute special, I guess Morris Hayes was asked what was the deal on why he didn't release it. And Morris was like, he just kind of just moved on to other things. It was just like, if you don't hit in that sweet spot, then you're not, if you don't hit in that sweet spot, then it's got to be on his schedule, And anyways, they missed it. They missed that moment. Whatever that moment was, they missed it. And so all that
started sweet spot.
Yeah. So all that being said, it didn't see the light of day, and it got shelved, and they moved on to the next thing. And so here are
That's not what's supposed to be showing.
Well, it is what's showing.
That's not what's supposed to be showing at all.
All right. So, okay, I'm going to remove it. I'm going to let you fix it. God, Lord, man.
God, it's been a bad day.
Oh my gosh, man. Did you all right, never mind.
I didn't. No.
You didn't. Okay.
I just been working my ass off all day trying to make shit work. And nothing has fucking worked all damn day.
Oh my God. Yeah. All right. So there was a bunch of different versions of Welcome to America. I just put up a picture that was not supposed to be a picture, I guess. But there's a bunch of different versions of Welcome to America. There is a CD version that's just a CD. There is a vinyl version. There is a 7-inch single for the Welcome to America single, which I purchased. That was the only thing that I purchased from the estate because there was a bunch of weird stuff that was going on with that release. Because what was really weird, more than anything, what was really weird was that, and I'll put up this link here for Amazon. And yeah, thank you, Rodney. Rodney says 3 weeks later. Basically what it is that they had, I don't know why they packaged the deluxe like this. So they essentially forced people to buy the vinyl this time around for the deluxe edition. The deluxe edition now comes with 2 vinyls. It comes with the CD. It comes with a DVD from a live show at the, I think it's the Forum from 2011 from this tour, which is primarily a collection of songs that are covers. I think like 80% of the songs that are on this concert DVD, that's a Blu-ray. I keep saying DVD, but it's technically Blu-ray, are covers. They're covers of other people's songs. So that was kind of a little bit weird. If you want to talk about WWPD, what would Prince do? I'm pretty positive that he wouldn't have done that. He may have, because of the fact that he's got this really big propensity to not like having to pay royalties. I get it. As an artist, I get it. But certainly the estate had to think of that at some point in time, as far as the songs that are on here, that are on this Blu-ray, because they have to pay royalties, or they have to pay something whenever you're covering somebody else's music. There's dividends that go out. This is actually the actual picture that you're supposed to see. Yay! Rob did it. Yes. You want to get that? Okay. Anyways, never mind. So
What now?
Well, no, there's the 7-inch vinyl, the 7-inch single vinyl. But
Sorry.
yeah, the more important thing, more than anything else, is the one further down the page that's bolded in yellow. That's the one that's got to be on time. Anyways, this comes in a bunch of different versions. I know a lot of people got some serious. I know, it's fine. I'm just fucking with you. It's a lot of different versions, and there's and Target, then to add to the mix, Target has actually got a version that is going to be on clear vinyl, not CD. They probably will have it on CD, but they're doing clear vinyl also. It's just unusual. But anyways, what's cool about the deluxe edition is that you got the Blu-ray, you got the vinyl, you've got the CD, you've got the 12x12 photo book, you've got a backstage pass recreation, you've got a ticket recreation, a set list, a recreation of the set list, lots of different things. Oh yeah, and then of course they have a limited edition of the 7-inch Welcome to America on gold vinyl that you're seeing a picture of right here. That's actually pretty cool. It's only like $10, but then so was the shipping, so it's double that. And
What is outfit though? That's cool.
Yeah, so it's cool, and these are limited editions. So I checked, but right before we came on the air, and they still had some available for some reason. And I think they're only doing 1,000 of these. I want to say there's only 1,000 pressings of this, and so I ordered one of these from the estate because you can't get it from anywhere else but here. But for the actual deluxe, on the day that they announced it and started taking pre-orders, the store.prince.com had it on sale for $99.95, and if you wanted to get it in 2-day shipping, it was going to cost you an additional $26 and some change. So it was ultimately going to be, it was a lot of money. But I'm not doing math on a Tuesday night.
I've already done enough.
I've already done. Yes, we're done here. But on Amazon, they were selling it for $10 less than this, than the $99.95. So we're selling the deluxe for $89.95, and if you had Amazon Prime, you got the 2-day shipping for free. So it essentially was almost $40 less to purchase it on Amazon. Now, however, Amazon has now corrected that pricing, and now it is $99.95. But if you ordered it when I told you to order it, you saved almost $40 by ordering deluxe from Amazon. But you can still save on the $26 and change in 2-day shipping, ordering it through Amazon if you're an Amazon Prime member. If you're not, you can still get free shipping 5 to 7 days. But anyways, there's that. But I'm looking so forward to it. It's amazing. That friggin' song. How many times have you listened to that song?
Quite a few. I definitely dug the song.
Yeah. All I gotta say is this freaking song is amazing, and I'm not gonna play it. I'm just gonna kind of give you like little tastes and whatnot.
So were you saying that?
Yeah. So, anyways, it's an amazing song, but I'm gonna stop it and cut it off because I don't want everybody to be kicked off of Facebook.
Were you saying that this was going to be 100 and something? Because it looks like it's still listed as 99.
Yes, it's $99.95, but you get free 2-day shipping out of it.
Gotcha.
On the estate, they're going to charge you $26 and change for 2-day shipping. So you're going to save almost $30 by ordering it from Amazon if you're an Amazon Prime member. But I'm not trying to steer you away, because that was the other controversy that everybody said was talking about. Oh, well, if you order it from Amazon, you're not supporting the estate. If you buy it from here, you're not supporting the estate. All right, if it's an official product and you're buying it from a approved vendor, you're supporting the estate.
Yep.
Because they're selling it to Amazon.
They're selling it to Amazon, and so that's just go ahead and just stop that now. They're making money no matter where they sell it from, whether they sell it from Amazon, whether they sell it from Target, whether they sell it from directly from the website. It's just all, and of course, all the people, I always think it's funny, all the people that purchased it on the estate website and realized that they just got hit for an extra $30, $40 or whatever it was, were like, well, I want to support the estate. I would just rather give it to them than Jeff Bezos. It's like, okay, just if you got it, you got it. It's okay.
I do it.
Don't act like they're going, oh my God, thank you for giving me this extra $40. They were more like, thank you. That's basically what it was like.
Just like that. Thank you.
Thank you for the extra $40. Ching ching.
Didn't know.
No, I don't know what they would have said, but I'm sure it would have been something close to that. Okay. Anyways, welcome one and all. We are going to do the show now. We're done. We're done with the news. We're done with all that stuff. I'm looking forward to Welcome to America. I am so excited. Did you pre-order?
I am so looking forward to Welcome to America. I'm excited to hear some actual new to us, Prince music.
Yeah, because there's a lot of tracks on there I'd never heard, and the few clips that I heard, like Born to Die, and there was another clip they played on 60 Minutes with just little pieces of, and I was just like, oh my God, this sounds amazing. Yeah. So I'm very, very much looking forward to it. I know a lot of people are. There are some other ones that are on, some other songs that are on that deluxe that I have heard. So I have heard a couple of the songs that are in that mix, but there's a bunch that I have not. What are some of the ones? I've not heard Running Game. I've not heard Born to Die. I've never heard 1,000 Light Years from Here. I thought that I did. Sounded familiar. Hot Summer has been out there for a while. That was actually leaked a long time ago because they had played it on a radio station. I think it was Detroit's radio station. So that's been in rotation in the, I guess, unreleased, however you want to say it. Stand Up and Be Strong. Never heard it. Check the record. We got a little bit of a clip of that on 60 Minutes. Have not heard that song. Same page, different Burke. Same page, different book. Actually, Shelby J actually sang a little clip of that on 60 Minutes. But yes, that song is fantastic. We've been playing that one. When She Comes. I'm wondering if it's the same one that we've heard all these years. The slow song, When She Comes. When She Comes. I don't know. Rin Tin Tin or 1010. Yes. Is that the family's version of Yes? Or is this a new version of Yes? One Day We Will All Be Free. So it's a bunch of stuff I've never heard. So I'm excited. Looking forward to it. Very, very excited. So tonight, let's talk about it, shall we? We're going to be talking about the one and only Prince Rogers Nelson and the concert experiences. So again, tomorrow, April 14th, will be the 5-year anniversary of, I had to make a notation that 9:09 p.m. is when we started this actual show. So anyways, it's the 5-year anniversary of his final performances that he would ever play. And both of them were here in Atlanta, the final 2 shows. And as I said before, I've said it a million times, I was blessed enough to be at both of those shows. So make that 1,000,001. I will give you a brief synopsis because many people have heard this story before, and just to kind of give you an idea of what everything I had to go through before this concert and everything that transpired, because it was just it was just insane. It was an amazing night, just to be clear. It was so incredible because it was just so full of energy. All of downtown Atlanta was just a buzz with just this really good spirit, just people just milling in the streets, and you could tell everybody was there for the Prince concerts and whatnot. And it was just the energy was really great. But I had actually stood in line to get tickets for 1 or 2 of those shows. It didn't really matter which one of those I got. But I had stood in line for both of those shows. And I actually physically went to the Fox Theater and stood in this long, long line during lunch break with my friend Kevin Parks. And we were trying to get tickets to the show. And meanwhile, I had my good friend Anitra on the phone, and she was online trying to get tickets while I was physically standing in line. So either way, I was either going to somehow manage to get tickets while I was up there, or she was going to get tickets. And while I'm standing in line, Anitra says, "Okay, I got tickets to the first show. I can get tickets right now for the first show. Do you want them?" And I was just like, sure. And she was like, "They're $350.
Oh.
I was like, I was like, they're what? She goes, "They're $350. And it was like $350. And I'm like looking at the line, and I'm like trying to do numbers in my head. If there's this many seats in the Fox, how many people were in front of me? And like all these people ordering online. And I'm like seeing these random people in line are also trying to get tickets online on their phones. And I see a couple people going, "I got some." And I'm like, "Oh," and I'm like, I said, just get them. I'll figure it out later. Just get them. And they were essentially like fifth row seats for the first show. That was a 7 p.m. show. And so I said, I'm going to stay here in line to see if I can get tickets for the second show, because I knew it was going to be different. And so then she calls back and she goes, "I got tickets to the second show." I was like, "How much are those?" And she goes, "It's $100." I was like, "Okay. That's the lowest price ticket. So obviously these are up in the nosebleeds." And that was for the second show. So I was like, "Perfect. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's go. We'll go. It's awesome." So I'm excited. I'm going to both concerts. The first show, I'll see it from the fifth row. The second show won't be that great because it'll be all the way up in the nosebleeds, but it is what it is. I'm fine. And of course, they're announcing later I had to come home, and they're announcing on the news. They were like, tickets to Prince's concerts are $100, starting at $100. And my wife happened to be standing in the room when the newscast said that. And she goes, "Did you say you're going to both shows?" And I was like, I said, yes. And she goes, "Oh my gosh, you paid $100 a piece for each of those shows?" And I was like, yes.
Oh my God.
I wasn't going to tell her what the first show cost. But I was like, okay. Yes. And so anyways, we happen to be in Florida that week. And so we cut our vacation short to come back to Atlanta so I could go to the concert.
Oh, I think I remember you telling me
Nobody else in the family was going to the show except for me. I was cutting our family vacation short so I could go to this show. I get about, I want to say 50 miles outside of Atlanta, and Anitra calls me on the phone. She goes, "The show's been canceled." Like, what? She goes, "The show's been canceled." I'm like, you're bullshit. This is a lie. That's whatever. It's not been canceled. She goes, "Yep, the show's been canceled." And so, of course, I go on my phone and I look, and sure enough, I see the show's been canceled. And of course, luckily, wife didn't say anything. She didn't give me how we left 2 days early, blah, blah, blah. I was like, if I had known that would have been canceled, we could have just stayed put, but that's not. So anyways, so my concern was, because I was actively playing in a band at that time, my concern was that they were going to put this show on a date that I was either going to be playing or that I wasn't going to be able to attend. Come to find out, I guess a couple of days later, I can't remember how long later, they rescheduled to the 14th, which is, again, as of tomorrow, will be 5 years to the day. And I was like, yes, this is on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. I can't remember what day it was. Anyways, I was like, I'm not playing. Fantastic. So then all of a sudden, the problem was that I was okay, but Anitra was not. And Anitra was the one who bought the ticket. So the tickets are in her name. So, and you have to pick up the tickets, the newly printed ticket with the new dates and everything at will call. And I'm not Anitra. So that was a problem. So luckily, the people at will call were really cool, because Anitra was flying in. She was out of town. She had to fly in, and she was going to be flying in between the first show and the second show. And so she was going to be able to make it to the second show, but not the first. So she wasn't going to be able to be there. Tickets. They allowed me to pick up the tickets as she sent me her driver's license on the phone. So they were really lax, extremely lax. So all that being said, I got the tickets. I went to the first show by myself, and I guess she had managed to sell the first ticket, and there was this girl that's sitting next to me that was incredibly annoying. But anyways, it was just, and if it was you and you were sitting next to me, you were incredibly annoying. You were not. I don't remember who you were, but I remember that you only replied. You only screamed.
I don't think she remembers you either.
Yeah, I hope not. But anyways, there was a girl that was sitting about 2 rows behind me screaming, Brett! Like the whole friggin' show. And this is just Prince and a piano. So it's not like you got a full band that can drown out the shrill. It was just screaming. It's Brett! And then the girl next to me was doing the same thing. And it was just, this was amazing seats because, and that's it. There's a picture that we'll show in a minute. It was amazing seats, but the experience wasn't that great because, he was right there. But I had people screaming around me who were screaming during the quiet parts and not listening and taking in the music. And it was just really annoying. So all that being said, I'm not going to walk you through the whole show, but it was a great concert. But then afterwards they made everybody leave the auditorium and then come back in because they wanted to make sure that everybody was out. Nobody was hiding in the bathrooms or anything like that. I don't know what they were doing. Anyways. So I go outside, I finally meet up with Anitra and we come in for the second show. And these are all the way up in the nosebleeds. I think it's like the furthest back that you can go on the second level, up against the wall. And, needless to say, that seat was amazing. There was nobody screaming. Everybody was quiet. Everybody was taking it in. Everybody was in the moment. Everybody was just being respectful of it was just incredible. It was
just talking about being a dad now.
Oh my God. It was just,
everybody was quiet. I just need some quiet.
Prince piano and a microphone is just Prince and the piano, So, and the way the Fox Theater is, it starts out high and it kind of goes back into like a cone. It's like a sideways ice cream cone. And so all the sound kind of goes into the bottom, and it was just, the sound was incredible. Everything was respectful about it, and everybody that was around me was appreciating everything that was going on, was listening and appreciating the music. And that was the biggest difference for me. That was the biggest difference for me, was that I was able to just take it all in, and just enjoy everything. And there was a big difference between those two shows too. The first show, it was only kaleidoscope graphics happening behind him. And the second show, they actually had, visuals. They actually had visuals from movies. They had visuals from they just had all kinds of different things going on. And it was just such a cool show. The song selections were amazing. He sounded incredible. Kind of led to the credence because, we were told that the when he started both of the shows, he was like, Atlanta, sorry for the cancellation. And, we were told, he had the flu or a cold or whatever it was. And that was not. And so to hear him that clear and that crisp and that strong, he was hitting all the high notes. It was just magic. It was probably one of the best Prince concerts that I had ever been to. Just as far as the sound and just kind of absorbing it all and taking it in, because I was really impressed with the fact that he was able to get that much sound out of a piano and just him and actually just command the audience with just him and a piano. And he didn't do any sequencing. He didn't do any, he did none of that. It was just him and a piano. And whatever effect, he was using a synthesizer that was inside of a piano chassis, but it was not. He didn't use any special effects. He didn't use any, outside of, maybe a little bit of reverb or sustain. But other than that, it was very clean, and it was just such an incredible show.
Yeah.
So, when I get home from those shows, and I'm like sitting the whole time, both in the 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. show, I'm writing down madly what the set list is, because a lot of times he would play clips and I would like, oh, what's that clip? What's that clip? And I'd have to like maybe write the notes down or maybe write like a piece of the lyrics or whatever, and then kind of go and look it up. So when I get home and it's late, it's really late. I want to say, I want to write the review. And I said, do I stay up late and write this review of these two shows?
Call me that night, by the way. I feel like you did.
I may have because it was such an incredible concert. It was
The
so
time
good.
difference for me, it wasn't that bad for you to call me that late.
And I knew that Prince, liked Funkatopia. I knew that he, read what I posted pretty regularly. And I just said, you know what? I'm just going to, I'm going to do it. I'm going to stay up late and I'm going to write this review. So I stayed up till probably the better part of 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that, just writing out the review, writing out the set list, just kind of putting up. And the review that I did is still up on Funkatopia. Anyway, so I wrote it and I did some editing and I reread it and did some editing. I was like, all right, I just want to be the first to do a review, because I know there's probably some other bloggers that were there at the show. So I want to make sure that if I do it tonight, I'm going to have a pretty good jump on everybody. So I go to sleep, and then when I wake up, I happen to flip on the computer, and I'm just kind of saying I'm just kind of curious about how many people have read it. So I wanted to look at the numbers, but it's only been nighttime. It's only been like 1:30 to whatever time I woke up. So it wasn't going to be a whole bunch of people that read, unless they're like late night readers. But the numbers were like insane. And I was like, what just happened? And what happened was Prince. I wake up and Prince has tweeted about the review that I did. He says audio perfection, and he put the Funkatopia link. You're looking at it on the radio. He puts up this tweet, and that's the picture that I took from the 7 o'clock show. Because I didn't want to be holding the camera during the show while he was performing, because I just didn't, I was fifth row. So I was very, very visible to bodyguards and everything that were there. But anyway, so that was a picture that I took, and that was a review that I said, and then Prince tweeted about it. And when he tweeted about it, I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe he tweeted about it. I was tripping. Now, again, this is not the first time that Prince has tweeted about Funkatopia. I have plenty of screen captures of posts that he's done from Third Eye Girl, from when I did review of Andy Allo, he put it up there. When I did the review of Leanne LaHavis's album Blood, he tweeted about it. He put me on Funkatopia. I mean, he put it on his Facebook page quite a bit. So this was like an ongoing thing. And so when I saw this, within 12 hours of the time that I had done the review, I literally had a heart attack. I was just like, this is friggin' incredible. Because this is the first time I'm seeing it. At this point, it's already been loved 1,700 times. I'm like, oh my God, this is incredible. And so that all being said, what was devastating to me was that a week later, he would no longer be with us. And this would be one of the last tweets that he would do before he died. And I just, I think they moved his Twitter account to @PRNLegacy now, I think is where it's at right now. Because they took over the Prince account and now just make it a marketing thing. This is like an ongoing marketing thing for them at Prince. So they moved his old Twitter account to @PRNLegacy and then took over the Prince account. So if you want to be able to see this tweet and all the other tweets that he did off and on about me or about Funkatopia and anything else that he talked about. And what's also crazy about this is that USA Today did a article on the final days of Prince. And in the USA Today article, they said Prince talked about the review that was given to him on his last show at Funkatopia. And it linked to the review, which obviously drove a bunch more things. It's just crazy. This is just crazy. If you look at the date of the review, of the tweet. It's April 15th, 2016. I don't know the exact time that he posted it. I can't remember the exact time on it, but it was April 15th, 2016 is when he posted it. So I don't know. Somebody's asking, so during this overnight time after you made the blog post of the ATL show, was his retweet before or after the plane had to land in Iowa and he went to the hospital? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I would have to look at the time of that event, but yeah, I didn't even think about that portion of it. But the fact that he was even talking about this or was even tweeting about me, once again, was one of those things where, God bless America. It's just, I can't even believe I'm on his radar. So it's a little bit of a shocker. So that was one of my favorite concert moments. I do absolutely have another favorite concert moment, but I don't want to capitalize on the time. There was the time that I've told the story a million times about when I went to the after party in Atlanta after the One Night Alone tour, and I got to stand right next to him. I was standing right next to a keyboard, and I was expecting Renato Neto to come out, and then because I was standing on the side of the stage, like what's a stage that was only like probably about 8 inches high. And I was standing right there next to the keyboard, and I expected Renato Neto to come out, and Prince came and sat right in front of me. I mean, like he is right, like I don't even have to stretch out my hand the whole way to touch his leg. He's like right friggin' there. And I was having a heart attack, and they were just jamming on some instrumental thing. And so I started singing just because I was in the mode, I was feeling good, and I just started singing. And he looked over at me and locked eyes with me, and he was jamming with me. And then he made this motion like he was going to go up a chord, and I followed him. He went up a chord, and I went up a chord with him while I was singing, and he laughed and he slapped my hand 3 times, and then he put his hand on my shoulder. He got up and he went to the front of the stage. And as I said before, I can't tell you anything else that happened that night because I was just at that point I was beside myself. I got to stand right next to Prince, obviously 8 inches below him, but I got to stand right next to Prince and sing for him, and he was listening and he was enjoying it, and he acknowledged that I was killing it, and it was great. So that's probably my favorite Prince moment, is getting an opportunity to sing with Prince right there to Prince and it was very, very cool. So that's one of the moments I'll never forget. I also met him that night too. That was the first time I actually one-on-one met him, which is very cool. So anyways, those are my favorite Prince moments. Those are my 2 favorite Prince moments for sure. You definitely got the condensed version of the second one because, again, I don't want to capitalize on the time. But let's turn it over to you, Rob, and let's talk about your favorite Prince concert moment for sure.
So before I start, are you going to open up the phone lines? I know you mentioned that.
Yes, I will. Actually, while you're telling your Prince story, I will go ahead and dial in, and I'm going to open up the phone lines. If you want to dial in and tell your favorite Prince story, here's where you do it. It's going to be 2623-WE-FUNK. 2623-WE-FUNK. And I will open up the phone line. So if you start dialing in right now, you're going to get it's not on air right now, as I'm about to turn it on. So go ahead, Rob, tell your story. Yes, I'll turn on the phone lines. Long answer.
I think that's part of my job. So I got to make up for last time.
That's right.
So for me, I guess I've got 3 concerts that I went to that are really that were really the best for me. This might be the last one. I can't remember. Yeah, it is the last one. The last one I had was one you and I went to, and if you hadn't have told, it was like a freak of luck. I just happened to be in Atlanta, and my mom was sick at the time, and I was coming to visit her, and you said, "Hey, guess what? Prince is coming into town," and they had just announced it. It was the Hit and Run tour, and it was at that small club. Oh crap, I can't remember the name of the club. I know you would know because you live in Atlanta. What's the name of the club? You're muted, man. You're still muted.
I had to mute myself because it was the Tabernacle. It was Tabernacle. Yes.
Yeah, and that was great because it was. I think it was. We could just go up to the front. It was general admission, and it was a shock and a surprise, and it was a great show, and it was just a great thing to have when I was dealing with all the stuff that was going on with my mom. And then the other show is the one right behind me, the 2000 Forever. That show that he did, the piano microphone. What the heck did he call it? I don't know. I always call it the Rainbow Children Show because, it was. You're still muted, by the way.
One Night Alone.
What's that? One Night Alone.
Alone.
Yeah, that one. And that was a great show, but it was really sad because it was here in Phoenix, and it was the day that Left Eye Lopez died in that terrible accident. Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, you did? Okay, good. That means you're going to be able to hear the phone calls too. 2623 We Funk. The phone lines are now open. Go ahead.
And she had died in that terrible accident in South America. And the performance was still amazing. And the great thing about being in the what's that?
And it wasn't packed. That's the one thing I don't remember. I remember there being a lot of people, but it wasn't packed.
Well, this was the one in Phoenix.
Oh no, yeah. I thought you were talking about the one in Atlanta. Yeah, it wasn't packed.
No, the Tabernacle. I moved on, man. So sorry. We can go back to the Tabernacle one in a minute.
I actually have a bad vibe about that night. So, because that was the one that's when we missed the after party because your kid was sick and my wife was not happy for whatever reason it was, and we decided.
I don't think we tried to see if they even had one, and they didn't have one. I thought.
No, they had one. It was because the very next night it was 2 days later you were just like, let me send you the review of the show that we did not go to.
Okay. So anyway, but so then the one, like I said, the Rainbow, what I call the Rainbow Children's Show, which is apparently is the
One Night Alone tour.
What?
One Night Alone.
One Night Alone. Yeah, I'm never gonna remember that. So that show was spectacular. But the great thing about the MBG Music Club was you got to go to the pre-show. Basically, just him and the band warming up, and he just came out there and played. And that's the only reason why I even had any idea that he was depressed, because he talked about it several times during that show, talking about how he just wasn't feeling great about that. But it didn't affect his performance at all. He was amazing, and the band, of course, was amazing. That band was. He's always gotten great musicians.
But that band was on some other level. There's a lot of people that actually are huge fans of the members of the Revolution and huge fans of people of the MPG lineup. But Renato Neto and Rhonda and John Blackwell and
John Blackwell.
And Maceo, sometimes Najee.
One of the most amazing drummers.
Some of the shows were Maceo, some of the shows were Najee, some of them were both. And then who was on his keyboards was Renato, drums were John Blackwell. Who am I missing? Rhonda was on bass, he was obviously on guitar. There was more. I can't remember who else.
I can't.
But anyways, a phenomenal band for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And I remember you calling me from the pre-show. You called me from the pre-show, and they were playing Xenophobia. Because I could hear it in the background. You're like, guess where I am? And I'm hearing in the background.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
I can't believe they're playing
I know where you are. That's Xenophobia.
Right. And then afterwards, we weren't sure if there was going to be a pre-show. There wasn't any indication of it. But me and my buddy, he had like a pretty recent Mustang. It was pretty fast. And so we actually followed the tour bus to see if the band was going to go anywhere. And it just ended up that they were, and we needed that fast car because they were taking turns and shit. I don't know if they knew we were following them or not.
I could have sworn you were going to say your favorite concert moment was when you threw your gum into the bathtub at Purple Rain Tour.
I'm getting to that.
We do have a call on the line, so.
Oh, well, you know what? Let's take the call and then I'll go into that after the call. Because
all right, let's go ahead and grab a caller and see what's up. And welcome, one and all. Welcome to Funkatopia Live. Who is on the line?
Hi, Chris. This is Monica Martinez.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, what's up?
I'm good.
Austin. Woo!
I've never been.
It's an amazing city. It's my hometown, so it's great. It's hot here, but it's great.
Lucky you.
So I have the most beautiful story for you.
Great.
And this is not a tour, a Prince tour. This is not 21 Nights in Vegas. This is not 21 Nights in Paris or LA. This is South by Southwest 2013.
Wow.
So I was 24 at the time, and I was volunteering. This was my third year volunteering for the festival. And in the middle of the festival, we get an announcement via social media, whatever, that Prince is in town, and he's going to do a secret show sponsored by Samsung, right? And the whole gag was, in order to get into this show, you had to do a scavenger hunt on a Samsung device to obtain a purple wristband to get into the show.
All right.
Now, mind you, that year, I did not have a Samsung phone. I had an iPhone. But a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, the next day after the announcement, I told her, I was like, oh my God, I have to go. I'm subjecting myself to anything I have to do. Like, I will do whatever I have to do. But she told me, go, don't worry about it. I'm doing the scavenger hunt. If I win, if I finish in time, I will give you the +1. And I'm begging her, like, please, you have no idea. I have to go. And she's like, oh, okay, fast forward a couple of days. And I'm in the middle of volunteering. It's another day of the festival. And I thought my eyes had deceived me at first. And I waited for him to come back downstairs. I run into Des Dickerson.
Nice.
And
he was at the show?
Comes downstairs. He was, yes, he was.
Nice.
Well, before that, this is days before. So he's coming down the escalator, and I'm like, oh my God, that's him. Oh my God. And nobody else noticed. I'm the only one who noticed this. So I stopped him and I said, are you who I think you are? And he goes, well, it depends on who you think I am. And I kind of make a motion with my hands like a guitar. And he goes, yeah. And I freak out on him. I geek out on him, and he got a kick out of it. And I got his autograph. I got a picture. And I had a Prince button on my shirt. And he saw my button and he tells me, I hope you get into the show. And I said, I hope I do too. And he said goodbye, went about his day. Later on that same day, or that same evening,
did we lose you? Hey, Chris, you're muted.
we're in line for that. And she's on her phone,
You're muted.
getting the last item for the scavenger hunt. And a pop-up came up on her phone, and it said, all Prince tickets are sold out. And I thought, oh my God, it's over. So, she showed me on her phone, and I was like, well, thank you for trying. And, I was disappointed or hurt at the time, but I was like, you tried, and I thanked her. So we went and saw Ice Cube and LL Cool J, and we had fun. By the grace of God, the next morning, I get a phone call from her. And she called me and she says, Monica, come to the Samsung booth right now. I am in line for Prince tickets. I did not even hesitate. I hung up the phone and I started running. I'm talking like Forrest Gump running. I ran down the street to meet up with her in line. I stood in line with her, and we got our wristbands. Okay. The next day after that, March 16th, 2013, was the day of the show. And me being who I am, I got there so early that the Austin Police Department had to stop me from forming the line outside of the venue. So I'm waiting for my friend, and she shows up a little bit later. And we waited. By the time the line formed, we waited for 5 hours.
Oh my God.
To get in. Okay. And as we're waiting, within those 5 hours, we're seeing, if I'm not mistaken, I saw like DJ Rashida and like, it was probably a Tribe Called Quest, because they opened up for him this show.
Wow.
They went in, other VIPs went in, they were letting everybody else in. We were still in line. And then by the time, again, by the grace of God, by the time I walk in, I end up in the front row.
You should be. We were there 5 hours early.
Yes.
Yeah, if anything, that deserves front
They were
row.
letting other people in. They were letting everybody else in besides the whole line that I was in. But I end up in the front row. And this show was a little bit different, in my opinion, because the way he came out was the band came out within the crowd or through the crowd to my right. And I'm looking to my right, and I'm like, oh my God, he's with the band, because I'm hearing the horns. He had what, 21 horns that night. So I'm thinking he's in line with them. And then I turned my head straight, and he just appeared. He didn't even walk out. I swear to God, he just appeared out of thin air.
He does that.
And my knees buckled, and I hit the floor. I was crying. It was amazing. And he came out at midnight, I think. So he played until nearly 4 a.m. And it was just,
oh my gosh,
the best show I've ever been to. But I feel like what makes my story so special is that it was the one and only time I ever got to see Prince.
oh my gosh, yeah, that's a
That
great
was the
story.
one and only time I ever got to see him.
Well, you got a great show.
You know, it was a very great show, and I felt, a lot of people tell me I'm lucky. I beg to differ, but I just, that whole night was, I want to say, he did Purple Rain that night, so it was like almost spiritually transcendent. It was unprecedented. Like, no one else of that magnitude has been to South by Southwest again after that.
Wow.
We haven't had that here in Austin, as far as for the festival is concerned. We haven't had anyone like that of that magnitude again after that. The fervor that was on the streets, like you were describing in Atlanta, there was like this, it was like Willy Wonka and wanting to get a golden ticket. It was literally like, oh my God, where is he? Where is he? We were looking for him. Everybody that I came in contact with during that week, or those days that we following into that day of the show, was like, oh my God, did you see him? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Did you get a wristband? Like, it was literally like that. And it hasn't been like that for us here since.
Yeah, that's an amazing story.
It is. Thank you. Thank you.
That is really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, something about the vibe something about the vibe of Prince. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, yeah. I share my story because I feel like number one is the best story that I have.
Great
Number
story.
two, it was
What were some of the songs that he played that like really
talked about
stand out?
21 nights in Vegas, 21 nights in LA, 21 nights in Paris, but very few of us could talk about the one night in Austin. And that was the very last time he ever performed in Texas. He only performed in Austin 2 or 3 times prior to that, before I was born. I consider myself a very young Prince fan. I'm only 32. I've been collecting records since I was 17 years old. And that's how I got into it, or into him as an artist, as a singer. But I consider myself devoted, but a very young fan. I'm still digging through the crates. I can't even break a dent. It's, but to see him, like you were saying, the vibe was otherworldly, and it was just everything you think it would be plus more, especially for us here in Austin who loved him.
Well, I can tell you that you've got a long road ahead of you, because I am 52 years old. I'm 52 years old. The first time I saw him was in 1983. And and even there's plenty of fans who are older than me, and we still have not heard everything. I mean, these Welcome to America, Welcome to America release is like a bunch more songs that we haven't heard. And then when we watched I don't know if you got an opportunity to see the 60-minute special where Morris Hayes said there's like somewhere around the vicinity of like.
I did. I saw 60 Minutes. Yep.
I think the number was 8,000 or something songs that are still buried in there that we have not heard.
Yes.
Which is
they said enough.
Ridiculous.
Enough material to last until the next millennium. Who's doing that? Nobody's doing that.
Which is unfortunate. But
I don't think anybody's ever done that.
Well, thank you so much for calling and sharing your story.
Thank you so much.
Let me share it.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Bye, guys.
Thanks. Yeah. I don't think you heard your question about the
songs.
Yeah, about the songs. I think it was something like, so you're saying when I mute myself, you can't hear her?
Correct.
Okay, well then I can't mute myself.
And I noticed
when my dog starts barking. When my dog starts barking, I just want to make sure that the dog doesn't bark over.
I know I'm doing the same thing on my end too.
The phone calls are attached to my mute, so I'm gonna have to belch in the mic.
Well, just let us hear your dogs. Your dogs are appreciating it, man.
It's all right. It's so good. Yeah,
no, but that was. I think I saw somebody on the Facebook also seemed to indicate that they couldn't hear also. So I don't know if that's also doing that, but
yeah, well, that's okay. But now we know that's an issue. So, but anyways, but it was only like for 5 seconds, so it's fine.
It was fine, man.
Anyways, on the line? Not at the moment. So if you want to call in with your own Prince concert story, 2623 We Funk, 2623 We Funk. If you are alphabetically challenged, that number is 262-393-3865. I think I saw somebody from the UK saying, I don't know how to dial that from the UK. And I think you just add a +1 in front of that, right? I think it's just it's just plus.
I think it's 001, right? 011. I don't know. It's something like that. There's like you have to have like
1 or 011 or 0.
Yeah, 011. I think is what it is.
I think it's 011 and then the number, which is 2623 We Funk. Again, the number without the letters is 262-393-3865. That's 262-393-3865 or 2623 We Funk. And you can call in and tell your Prince story. Now, you had another Prince story that you wanted to tell.
Oh, yeah.
I've got like a bunch of them.
I know, because you're like so cool.
I'm just that I've experienced with you. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we do have a couple. You're right. So like somewhere on the Funkatopia website, there's a picture. Ooh, that looks good. There's a picture. There's a picture of me when I was 16, the night that I went to the Prince tour in Atlanta for the Purple Rain tour. Yes. Mm-hmm. And actually, I this is one of the things I bought at that concert, and I still have, amazingly. So I tried so hard to get tickets for that. There was a place called Turtles. I don't think it exists anymore. No. I lived in a town called Covington, which is I lived in Mansfield, which is even further. Anyway, way far out of Atlanta. What's that?
I said that's further than Covington, yes.
It is. And I just got my driver's license, so I told my mom, hey, tickets are going on sale. I'm going up to Atlanta, and I'm gonna camp out and get some tickets. And so I went up there that morning. I was there way before the tickets went on sale. I happened to choose. I had actually specifically chosen Turtles where I didn't think there'd be anybody, and there wasn't. There was nobody. I was the first one in there. Went in there. Went back there to the place where they sold the tickets. They were already sold out. I was screwed. No tickets.
Yep.
So I came back. I was upset, and my mom had a friend of hers who had managed to get a ticket, and he wasn't going to go because they were crappy seats. So there's a place called the Omni, which used to exist in Atlanta. And if you lived in Atlanta for any period of time, you've probably heard about the Omni, unless you lived there within the last, 20 years. When did it get destroyed?
It was destroyed a long time ago, and then they put a Falcons. The Falcons put up their stadium there, and then they tore that down and built another stadium right next to it. So I don't remember exactly when the Omni was destroyed, but I was there when they were destroying it because I had taken Marta and I was watching them tear it down. And I was watching all those concerts that I had seen inside that building just get destroyed. And it was just like,
right. I mean, the Omni was not a great place to see concerts, honestly, because the acoustics were terrible. But there were so many great concerts that happened there.
The Grateful Dead show that you took me to, that you forced me to go to, was.
I don't think I forced you.
Well, you told me, you said, because I wasn't really feeling Grateful. I mean, they were good, and I liked some of their trippier stuff, but you were just like, no, you don't understand. You have to see them live.
Right, you can't appreciate them until you see them live.
You can't appreciate them till you see them live. And you took me to that show, and that was the what the one where they're playing the Victim of the Crime album. You took me to that show, and the acoustics were incredible because they had that whole thing where the drum solo went all the way around all around the whole thing. It's so weird. Anyways, go ahead.
So a whole nother story. But the acoustics weren't great there, and the best ticket that could be gotten, it was basically one of those places where they cut off half of the stadium because it was a theater in the round kind of thing. So the best tickets that I got was behind the stage. And somebody had asked this question earlier in the Facebook Live. So that was the best. Although it really wasn't kind of that bad because I was behind the stage and I was in theater because I was one of those theater people. Oh, I think we've talked about this before. Chris and I both went to a school of performing arts. And so I was behind the stage, and I was right at the edge of where all of the props were. So I was basically 20 feet above all of the props they were using for the Purple Rain tour, which if you saw that tour, well, actually, you don't even have to have seen that tour. If you saw the movie Purple Rain, then you have pretty much seen the Purple Rain tour, except for the really cool opening act of Sheila E.
God.
What?
You don't see the performance of God. You don't see the performance of...
Okay.
There's some things in there you don't see.
There are some things.
Yes.
Okay, that's true. Okay, I'll give you that. But anyway, very similar to the movie. All the props were down there. And I don't know what maybe... And it was a great show, even though I was behind the stage. And I don't know what made me do this. I mean, I was 16. And, you do stupid things when you're 16. And I guess I just wanted to be a part of the show. And I looked down, and the bathtub for the computer... Is it Computer Blue? I'm pretty sure it's Computer Blue.
I think that is.
Warming up. Okay. So the bathtub for that song is directly below me. And I'm thinking to myself, there's Prince's bathtub. I'm really tired of this gum in my mouth. I need to get rid of it. And I don't know why I did it. Like I said, I was 16. And so I dropped my gum in his bathtub. And I
would have done that at 16. Absolutely.
And I love Prince. That's the funny thing. It's like if you had seen my room at that age, I had pretty much every poster of every member of the band in my room. It was completely covered with Prince and Wendy and Brown Mark, and I'm forgetting members of the band, but everybody was around me. Bobby Z, everybody. And so I dropped my gum in there, and then I could see them moving all the props around and everything, and then I saw them moving the bathtub, and I was like, oh, they're gonna do that scene. And Prince goes out there, and they move the bathtub out there, and he walks up to the back, and he's got the bathtub there, and the first part of it is he starts to get into the bathtub, and he like steps in, and he's like, and he looks down, and he reaches with his hand, and he's like,
from the Collins Studio web interface.
Sorry, hold on a second.
Show recording is on.
Okay, yeah. It disconnected us on the phone.
screw that. So anyway, he reaches up,
We got a caller in here.
grabs something, and he like, what the hell? And then he like tosses it to the side, and then gets in the bathtub, and I'm like sitting there, and the guy, there were these two people beside me, this guy and this girl. I don't know if they were married or girlfriend, boyfriend, or whatever. And they had seen me drop it in there, and they were like, giving me all kinds of hell at the beginning because they were like, "You're a really big Prince fan," because I was like wearing like purple eyeliner and shit, and and I looked at him and was like, "That's my gum, man! That's my gum!" Prince touched my spit.
Oh my god! Oh, wait, that's one of the best stories ever.
I still don't know why I did it, but that show was great. I mean, that was my first Prince show.
Yeah, and that tour was the only tour that I can remember that was that specific as far as the lineup of the songs. There was no variations because it was so choreographed. Everything about that show was so choreographed that they didn't go off script. And I don't think it was until after, I want to say it wasn't probably until after Love Sexy that he started to kind of just say, all right, I just got to stop getting into this, because I think I read in Dwayne Tudall's book, they were talking about how frustrated that he would get having to repeat the same songs over and over and over again, that he would just get really sick of doing it. So obviously when he got this huge capability to, be able to take a bunch of songs from different eras and mix it in, that's what he loved to do.
Yeah, that was. I mean, you and I both went to the Love Sexy tour. That was in '88.
Well, hold that thought. We got a call. I want to get to these callers here, and we're going to tell that story too, especially the pre-story to that. Which is, you probably already heard it, but anyway,
well, I've heard that story too. My other story.
All right. Well, welcome to Funkatopia.
Stacy Boys.
Hey, Stacy.
Hey, what's up?
I'm good. Just so you know, there's a considerable delay. So if you ask me a question, if you ask me a question live, I can hear it, but I won't be able to hear it on the air.
That's probably what happened to you, Rob.
Oh yeah, you're probably right. So I'm going to ask you a question now in 20 minutes.
I just wanted to quickly. Monica spoke earlier about By the Grace of God, and it made me think about a story I tell a lot in chats, but I wanted to just share with everyone that I actually didn't have tickets to the Prince concert until the night before the concert here in Atlanta. So it was April 13th. I just went online just on a whim to get tickets, and there just happened to be some there, and I purchased them and went to the concert the next day, the 7:00 show, with a friend of mine, and it was just amazing. It's funny to look at my Facebook or any of my social media timeline. You can see me talking about Prince tickets, and I'm on a plane going to DC, and I didn't get tickets. Just the whole, all the way up to after the show. So we went to the 7:00 show, and you were there, so how different the two shows were.
Yes.
We did not have tickets to the 10:00 show. So we enjoyed the first show. It was more subdued, and I felt like he was under the weather just a little bit. Even though he gave a great performance, I felt like he was a little under the weather, and I didn't want to leave the Fox after, even though, he was, it was a subdued show, it was a great show, but for some reason I didn't want to leave the Fox after the show. And so we're walking out, and I'm like, going slow, you're going to get your, your free CD. And I told my friend Marlon that, I just really wish that we could go to the next show. And a bodyguard actually heard us and said, well, go to the ticket booth. There's some standing room only seats. And
Really?
we got up to the ticket booth, yes. And there were standing room only seats there for $100 a piece, standing room only. The first show, we were up in the balcony at like $175 per. But the second show, standing room only, I was back probably 9 or 10 rows from the front. It was a standing room only, so we just kept scooting on down. Back up just quickly about the ticket booth. So we go to the ticket booth, $100 for the tickets, and that was a lot for me at that time, at that point in time. And so I turned to my friend, and I was like, "Do we really want to do this?" And she was like, "Do we really want to do this?" And I said, I don't know why I said this, but for some reason I said, I feel like this is the last time I'm going to see him. Because for some reason I felt like he was going to stop touring. Not that he was, what happened, but I just felt like he was thinking about stopping tour. So I said, and she was like, let's do it. And so we got in, we were up in the front doing the 10 o'clock show, which was incredible.
Yes.
And I just went back to that moment for a second. When he, the whole show was great. You remember how when he was singing, "How Come You Don't Call Me Anymore," and he got us in this, call and response. And we were singing "How Come You Don't Call Me," and we were stuck in a groove. And he was like, "I don't know how we're going to get out of this groove." Or he said something about, that because the entire place was on one frequency. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And so after the show, go home feeling just completely like transcended. And you go to many Prince concerts, you always feel great afterwards, and you feel like you got your money's worth and all of that good stuff. But something felt really different about that night, how all of us were just so on the same frequency in that 10 o'clock show. And read through social media, and that's how I found out about Funkatopia was his tweet.
Oh, really?
And
That's
I read
awesome.
your review, and it was I read your review, and it was so on point. It took me right back to that night. Fast forward a week later. And you know how he's so against photos. He was so against photos, but I snuck a little bit of video. I snuck a little video on my phone during the 7 o'clock show of him leaving. And so fast forward a week, we all know what happened. I'm at work about 1 o'clock. I just couldn't, I had left work and went home, and I'm looking at my pictures from the pictures and social media and all of that. And I received a direct message from NBC, and they were looking at my photos, and they asked me, did I have anything else that, that I might consider sharing. And I sent them that video, and it literally, they used that video on every single NBC outlet all weekend.
Wow.
And it was the only thing. It was the only thing that made me smile that entire weekend. I was completely floored, just bedridden after what happened. But then to have them use my content was just wonderful. So back to Monica's "By the Grace of God," it was definitely by the grace of God that I got to do that and get to be tied to him in some little way like that.
Yeah. That's awesome. And there's a couple things that you said in there, because one of the things about the Atlanta show, first off, the guy that went and stood in line with me at lunch to get tickets, Kevin, he had he managed to get front row balcony seats, and he sold his tickets. He was like, yeah, I'll just see him next time. and I was crushed for him. He was really distraught. And there was somebody else. I have a little side group called Funkatopia Funk Fanatics. It's just this little side Facebook group that I don't even post in any. But there was somebody who had actually seen a post that I did on that show, and I was reading. She actually linked back to the show that night of the show because I was talking about the show's been moved and from the 7th to the 14th. And she had put in the text message in the Facebook post, she goes, "I'll just wait to see him next time. I'm not going to spend that kind of money." And she happened to see the post. I guess it was one of those things like, "Here's where you were 5 years ago," or whatever it was. And she happened to reflect on it, and she was just like, "This was like," I was just like, "That's got to be awful." I mean, it's just, and there's I hear a lot of evil. But I wanted to ask you, I wanted to ask you too, because we had another caller in here, but they dropped off. So good, I don't have to rush.
Okay.
So
but you can call back in when we're done.
I want you to be able, because here was the thing. During the first show, the first 7 o'clock show, that you were allowed to buy. For those of you just joining us, we're talking about Prince concert memories. But during the first show, we're talking about the last 2 concerts that he ever did, which was the 5-year anniversary of that, which is tomorrow, April 14th. He did 2 shows here in Atlanta at 7 and 10 p.m. I was lucky enough to be there at both of them, and so was our caller. And we and one of the things is that they did not allow the 7 p.m. audience to buy merchandise after the show. You could buy merchandise before the show, but after the show, they wanted you out so that they could get the 10 p.m. people in. So when I first got in there at 7 o'clock, I did not have, I couldn't get anywhere near the merchandise table. And I was just like, I'll just have to just do this at 10 p.m., I guess. But there was a guy that was off to the side selling programs and also selling, what else was he selling? He was posters. He was selling posters and programs. So I was like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and get a poster and program right now because there's no line for him, so I can just grab that. So I get that, and then of course at the when we get shoved out at for the 10 p.m. show, I put the poster and the CD because they gave us, what was it? It was Hit and Run Phase 2. I want to say is what the free CD. Yeah.
It was.
That they gave away. And so I put the poster and the program in the car, put it under my seat just so nobody would break in because this is downtown Atlanta. And then I go back in at 10 p.m. and this time around, I'm able to get right to the merchandise table. There's still a lot of people, but I'm able to get in there. And for some reason, I decide I'm going to buy a t-shirt. I'm going to buy a coffee mug. Wow. I'm going to buy, what else did I buy? Oh, I have this VIP thing that I'm wearing here in the video here. I'm wearing.
I was going to ask you about that.
So it's like I bought all this merch, and I was thinking to myself, because because of the amount of merchandise I bought, I ended up having to go to the ATM to get more money to buy more merch. And the whole time I'm thinking, why am I buying so much merch? What is the like there was something that was coming over me that was just like saying you need to get as much as you possibly can. And I couldn't figure out why. I didn't know the reasoning for it. I just knew that for some reason there was something about this night. And what I wanted to ask you about, the vibe in between the 7 p.m. and the 10 p.m. show. When they put us out in the street at after the 7 p.m. show, and I see there's another caller in here, so I'll try to make this quick. But when they put us out on the street before the 10 p.m. show, there was this vibe that I had never, that was completely enveloping. It was like there were so many people. Yeah. There were so many people out in the streets on Peachtree Street that they literally had to close down the road in front of Fox Theater down to like 2 lanes, one going one way and one going the other, because there was such an overflow of people that they couldn't keep them out of the road. And then there was the hotel that's across the street. They had a bunch of people that were on the cafe balcony there, and everybody was hollering, and there was the vibe that was out there was so intense and palpable. It was like you could feel it in the air. It was just, there was something about it that was just beyond anything that I had ever experienced. And a lot of people experience this at a lot of Prince concerts.
There's pictures of me with I'm standing with people I don't even know in pictures taking pictures, on social media. I don't know these people. And, it looks like we've been friends for a long time. When you look at them on social media, you're right. It was an energy. It was
there was a crazy, crazy energy. But
you're a Prince fan, you are.
Yes, you are.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. I'm so glad to hear from other people that were at that show, because it was such a special moment, and I can't believe it's been 5 years as of tomorrow. It's just unreal.
Absolutely.
But before you go, I wanted to let you know.
Much, and I really appreciate this.
And before you go, I'm about to jump on this other call here, but before you go, I want to tell you and all you folks, starting right after this show is over, and all day tomorrow, there are no Prince blocks. It's going to be all Prince, and it's going to be all live concerts, including the 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. show from Atlanta. So you will be actually able to.
Thank you.
You'll actually be able to hear you, but I'm not playing those until tomorrow night. I think they'll start like about 9-ish.
All right.
I think 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can tune in and hear the final two shows that he performed, and that will be at the end of the night tomorrow night. But we will be playing all live concerts, a lot of Prince piano on a microphone. I think we have like close to 9 hours of Prince piano on a microphone concert footage that we were able to get a hold of, that you'll be hearing on the Funked Up app. So download that Funked Up app and get ready, because as soon as this show is over, we're going to start doing live concerts. I know you guys got to get to sleep, but when you wake up, it'll still be there. But anyways, thank you so much for calling in.
Yo, thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Story.
Appreciate it. All right, and we have another call in here, 812. What is that area code, I wonder? 812. Well, I guess we're about to find out. Yes, that's right. Welcome to Funkatopia Live. Who is on the line?
It is your producer,
Cammie.
Yay.
Cammie.
Hey, girl.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys tonight?
We're doing great.
Nice.
Calling in to tell you the one and only time I got to see Prince in concert. I used to, of course, I was a big fan of his from like around Dirty Mind album. And, but it was Purple Rain, the first concert I ever went to. And me and a good friend of mine tried to get tickets and could not get tickets. And we were so depressed. And then the week before the concert, this boy that I had been in love with since kindergarten came up to me at school and said, when you get home from school, check your mailbox. And I was like, why? And he was like, just check your mailbox. And I'm like, okay. So I drive home from school. I'm a senior. Drive home from school, get out of the car, check the mailbox, and there's an envelope. And I'm going to read you the thing that he left. The first thing that was in there is a wedding announcement. And it says, Wedding of the Century takes place in the town of Bloomfield. Bloomfield High School senior Tammy Donna Malone was married today to rock superstar Prince Rogers Nelson in a ceremony that cost a grand total of $2 billion. Paid for by the groom. Miss Malone was dressed in a white leather dress designed by the groom's guitar player, Wendy. The bride was escorted down the aisle by dear friend Michael Joe Saunders and two attendants, Lori Brown and Julie Rupert. The attendants were dressed in purple leather gowns designed by the groom. The groom wore a purple suit adorned with black lace and a black trench coat. Serving as the groomsmen were a couple guys from high school. For her daughter's wedding, Mrs. Malone chose a black silk dress and a black hat. The groom's mother was unable to attend the ceremony. As the bride was escorted down the aisle, the Revolution played the theme song from the movie Purple Rain. The new Mrs. Nelson is a senior at Bloomfield High School, and upon graduation will join the band as lead singer and songwriter. The newlyweds are now honeymoon in the south of France. So after I read that, I noticed there was something in the envelope, and there were 2 tickets to the Purple Rain concert.
Wow. Nice.
So
he had somehow found me tickets. I don't know how he did it, but he got me tickets to the concert.
And
you guys continue a relationship or what?
Meet Bobby Z. in Lexington, and he autographed this for me.
Wow.
Nice. So, is this your husband now, or is this somebody that you had a relationship before? Or
Never dated him, but I set him up with every girl he ever went out with.
you lost a good one there, Cammie. I'm not.
Yeah.
No offense to your husband, but that guy went the extra mile for sure.
Yeah. And you may have dodged a bullet by not marrying Prince.
Where I could set him up with other girls.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
I was just that girl.
You were the hookup.
I was his wing woman.
That's a great story. And so the first and only concert you saw of Prince was Purple Rain.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a good one to see.
That is a good one to see.
And luckily, no one threw any gum in the bathtub. So
that was in Atlanta. You weren't here for that one. I was at 3 of the 5 concerts that he did in Purple Rain. I too, like Rob, camped out for tickets outside of Turtles up in I guess it's Marietta. Maybe it's Marietta or Smyrna. I can't remember. It's up by what's now called Cumberland Mall. What was
I
then?
can't believe you were able to get tickets. That pisses me off so much.
Well, I camped out and the first show sold out.
Yeah.
And before the line even really started moving. And then the second show sold out. And I was getting agitated because I was out there for like a day and a half. I was out there for a really long time. This was a popular one too. This was not like a random one like yours. This was like a popular one. I don't know why I didn't think that one through like you did, but I was out there for a long time. And then somebody told me to stay in place, and I happen to have $100 on me or something. I don't remember how much money I had on me, but when I finally got up to the desk, he says, "What do you want? Do you want a ticket to the 3rd, 4th, or 5th?" And I was just like, "1 to each, please."
I think you were using your friend's money or something, right? It wasn't even your money.
Yeah, it wasn't even my money. It was, I think, somebody. I may have screwed somebody over for that one. I think because I think I was supposed to get a ticket and then another ticket for somebody else, and I think I ended up just getting 3 tickets for myself.
If it's the guy I'm thinking about, he probably deserved it. But
I was a total douchebag back in those days. But but after sitting out there for over a day, and it was in the moment. He was like 3rd, 4th, or 5th. I was like 1 to each, please.
It's not my money. Why not?
Tell you, if Rob is talking, I can't hear him.
Oh, okay. Sorry. All right. Well, anyways,
I'm not saying anything important.
yeah, it's okay. So you're saying when Rob talks, you can't hear me, or when I talk, you can't hear him?
I can only hear you. I can't hear Rob at all.
Okay. Well, that's only, I think it's important anyway.
Hello.
Yeah, you're the important one. Don't tell Rob I said.
Wow.
I'll just make sure that if I see him talking, I'll shut up. I'll stop talking. All right, Cammie.
I don't know why you haven't done that all the time we've been friends.
I don't know.
Have a good night, guys.
All right, thanks, Cammie. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Cammie.
Yeah, we had another call, and they dropped out. There was like, I'm not sitting here waiting.
There's like, I can't do it.
No, but we have so the lines are open right now. Again, 2623 We Funk. You want to tell your favorite Prince concert stories? We started to go into the Love Sexy tour. That do you have me on your laptop again?
No, I do not. But I was just looking at Facebook, and it says that Monica said that she couldn't hear me when she called in either. So apparently, it's something about calling in. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is.
I think what it is that any other audio, this is the primary audio, obviously, which has been proven by the fact that when I mute myself, everything goes dark. So I think this is the primary audio, and because you're coming in as a secondary audio source, anything that happens here, phone call or me talking, is going to override you. So I'll be cognizant of that fact, and then start. I'll just start making sure that I'm watching when you talk. And
that would be a change of pace.
Yes. See, like I just did. I just stopped talking when you start talking. All right, so I'll be cognizant of that.
I can always pull the mic right up to me and go, "Hey, baby, what's up?"
Yeah, that may just be. I don't know if that's applicable across all the platforms, but we'll pay attention to that.
All right, man.
It's got to be some trade-offs now that we got everything working. Yeah, I'm hearing echoes too, Michelle. I don't know if there's some audio that's coming from another.
What? I don't. Nick, go.
Let me see.
Good.
Let me see. Nope, I can still hear myself. It's an echo that's coming off of. Let's see if this. It's an echo that's coming off of your channel.
My channel.
Yes.
Damn it.
So it's okay.
I'm gonna have to go to channel 0.
Yes, that's what she watched. Nobody's gonna get that. Is anybody gonna get that?
Come on, somebody's gonna get. She watched channel 0. Come on.
Did anybody get that? I don't know. Let's see. We're digging deep in the PE library now. Which I don't think I even knew that song until Follow for Now covered it.
I don't think I did either. Actually, to be honest, Public Enemy rocks.
Yeah. 0. Anyways, oh wait, we got another call. All right, we got to pay attention now.
Woo!
Oh, and this looks like this might be our friend from the UK because the number looks all funky. Let's see. Welcome to Funkatopia Live. Who's on the line?
Hi, hello. It's Sash from the UK.
It is from the UK. Hey, what's up? Hello, welcome, Sash.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, this is wonderful. I have to say, it's silly o'clock here. It's 3:22 in the morning.
Oh my goodness!
I'm not asleep. Yeah. So, but I've been watching and thoroughly enjoying it. It's just been really wonderful.
Great.
And thank you for all that you do and everything that you're doing and all the wonderful information. Oh man, yes. Thank you. Look, I can't stay long, obviously, because it's silly o'clock, as I said, but probably favourite Prince moment must have been Hop Farm on July 3rd of, oh my goodness, when was it? It was 2011. That was the one time that my husband and we got to take the kids. And they were still kind of young then. I mean, they're all grown up and doing their own thing now. But yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah, that was
him in like a festival situation. It was amazing. It was an all-dayer and it was brilliant. So wonderful.
That was July of 2011. Yep. I actually have. Have you ever heard that show since you saw it?
Well, on my really sort of like dinosaur mobile phone at the time, we've managed to film plenty of it, but because of the technology then, it was, I mean, I've still got the footage now, but we've got it, but it's kind of really naff to listen to. The sound quality is not great, but the footage is brilliant. Yeah, I've managed to watch a couple of things. I think there was somebody posted something on YouTube some time ago, and that was pretty good to watch again. But the personal footage that we took, I sometimes sort of like every now and then just sort of like privately sort of like take a little watch and listen to it and just sort of reminisce and stuff, and it's lovely. Yeah.
Well, I just put a link on. If you're watching via Facebook or YouTube, I just put a link up to that show. Somebody posted it on YouTube, so you can watch and relive that entire concert.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
How old?
For sure. I mean, it will bring back many, many wonderful memories. But that was unfortunately, that was the last time that we got to see him. But we got to see him all together as a family, and that was the best thing ever. Yeah. But before that, the very first time I got to see him, I dragged everybody I knew as a nearly 16-year-old, and I got to see him 3 nights at Wembley for the parade tour.
Oh, nice.
That was just mind-blowing. But I have been a devout fan since I was 11, so, I mean, I drove my parents insane because of it. And here I am. I'm the same age as you.
I know how it is.
That's where I am now. So,
I think,
yeah.
Rob, you had a question for her?
Yeah, I just wanted to know, how old were your kids when you took them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't hear him.
I don't think she can hear me.
Oh, he wanted to know how old your kids were when you took them.
Oh gosh, So, well, goodness, now they're still 20. Oh, we're going to have to do the math now. That's terrible. So it was 20 and
Average.
Okay, the oldest is 30.
Just subtract 10.
Middle one's 23, and the youngest is 22. So do the math on that one.
Yeah, just subtract 10 from their ages right now. So.
Yeah. You are.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean for it to be
In
an
between
SAT
all that,
question.
obviously, I mean, we managed to take the eldest one to plenty of the gigs in the UK. We lived in the States for a long time as well, so we managed to get to see some there as well. But yeah, I managed to see majority of the tours, but I didn't get to be there in the latter years and stuff. But yeah. It's been wonderful listening to your stories about seeing him in Atlanta and everything, and obviously right here and now. Today we are on the 14th in the UK, and you know it's a poignant time, really, isn't it? It's yeah. It's I don't want to say it is sad, but it is also, I don't know, you know. Remember the music.
Yeah, and he left us lots of that for sure.
Oh my goodness! By the sounds of it, there's plenty coming still.
Yeah, that's the only unfortunate thing, is knowing that we are going to pass away onto the next plane and have not heard all of his material. You know,
That's the only reason I'm coming back.
Yeah, that's the one advantage that people like Elvis Presley fans and Jimi Hendrix fans have, is that they've pretty much heard all their stuff. But with Prince, it's just not going to be like that. It will be surprising if our children pass away and all of that material has not been released, because it's just going to be this ongoing, never ending. And if he had still been with us, it's just been ridiculous. It's just been unreal. I mean, I can't even imagine.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Well, I know
I've made my children swear blind that, you know, from the time I go, they are going to continue to listen to the music that I don't get to listen to.
They better.
That's right.
Well, thank you, Sash. I know it's silly o'clock where you are, so we'll let you get some rest. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh no, thank you for everything, and thank you for the wonderful things that you're saying, and just your shows. It's brilliant. Thanks very much. Have a great evening or morning, I should say, or whatever.
All right, thanks, Sash.
Thanks a lot. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. You know, I was asking about that, about what her age was when she took, what the age of the kids were, because Jen and I had an opportunity to take. Not to see Prince, although that would have been amazing. What?
You said Paul McCartney. I think you told this story.
Yeah. We got a chance to take him to see Paul McCartney, which was phenomenal, and has made a difference, to them. Although one of them was kind of young and she fell asleep, because McCartney somehow I don't remember how old he was at the time, 75, 70, whatever, still can do a song. Still can do a show longer than I can stay awake. I mean, it was like 3 or 4 hours, and we're like, "Oh my god, this is great!" But I'm so tired. But he was still amazing.
It was the same thing with George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic. I remember you and I don't know what. See, the first time, I don't know if it was the first time. It may have been the second or third time that I saw George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic. It was the return. I never got to see them, in their heydays in the 80s. I want to say it was the 90s before I ever got a chance to see George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic. I'd been listening to them, but I'd never seen them live. And they were doing a tour called The Return of the Mothership. And it was in Atlanta, and I want to say it was Atlanta Lights or Atlanta City. I can't remember where it was. It was some random warehouse-like venue. And we went there, and literally the guy started playing, and to start, it was Bootsy Collins and the Brides of Funkenstein opened up. And when it came time for George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic to come on, they came on, and literally they played for 4 hours. And I was just like, and I already sat through an hour of Bootsy Collins and Brides of Funkenstein. Not that I didn't love that. That was fantastic. But his show got cut short because somebody snatched his star glasses off of his head.
Oh, when he got pissed off.
While he was playing.
And I actually asked Bootsy about that last time he was on the show. I interviewed him about that show, and he told a whole story about that show and the vibe that he was in. So if you guys want to look for the interview that I did with Bootsy Collins, I talked about that show, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I remember that show," because it was just crazy because all the lights in the auditorium came up, and all the bodyguards started swarming through the audience trying to find who had snatched his glasses. And I had a recorder in my pocket in my jacket, and I pulled out the recorder out of my jacket to kind of let the recording document what was going on. And I said to the recorder, I said, "Somebody just stole Bootsy Collins' glasses off his face." And this bodyguard grabbed me by the wrist because he thought I had his glasses in my hand. And he just looked at me, and I was just like, "It's just a recorder." And I thought, "Oh shit, I'm going to get in trouble for having a recorder." And he was just like, and nope, he wasn't concerned. He was only looking for Bootsy's glasses. Only looking for Bootsy's glasses. And so I was just like, I didn't get my recorder taken away. It's all good. So anyways, I put the recorder back in my pocket, and it was just anyways. But yeah, so that was a show that I had to leave. I literally, people were leaving because this is 4 hours, and it's like, who sits here for this long listening to all? He's like playing every single bit of his. This is crazy. Oh, we got 2 more calls in here. All right, we got to just take them one at a time here as we go in. We'll take the person that was on here the longest, which is a whole 2 minutes. Welcome to Funkatopia Live. Who is on the line?
What's up?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah.
Excellent. This is Mr. Pennington. How's it going, Mr. Chris? How's it going?
Hey, man, what's going on?
Not much. Just listening to the great show.
Thank you so much again.
Everybody reminiscing on all these awesome Prince concerts and experiences. And fantastic. Like I said, long-time listener, big, huge fan. You and what Rob Rhythm are doing is so amazing and excellent for all these Prince fans and audience and just funk fans in general. So keep up the great work, man. Big.
Got a favorite Prince story you want to tell us?
So here's the thing is everybody's bringing their own approach. I get it. Like, it's sentimental. It's everything. We're getting on this anniversary and everybody's talking about what seeing Prince live meant to them and stuff like that. I got something to bring to the table, though. Here's my approach. First time I ever saw him in concert was cool because Maite was still dancing up on stage. And he came around, it was like 96, 97, and Maite's up there just dancing up a storm. And he's just crushing and killing the guitar. And I think at that time he was doing Endorphin Machine and just bringing out the gold experience and that whole vibe. And I mean, it was just killer to see Maite up there. Now when you think about things in retrospect, you're like, that was kind of a privilege. Of course, Prince is amazing like always, but there was a couple of small side stages. And this is what I bring to the table. I don't know who remembers this. I don't know if you remember it. I don't know anybody out there listening remembers this. But I want to know, what the heck was he doing? Every now and then he would go to these little small stages off to the side, and I happened to be right directly in front of one of them. And when he's coming out, the band is just jamming. And all of a sudden he starts just busting into this little mime sort of routine where he's like shaving, and he's brushing his teeth, and he's combing his hair.
Yeah, he did that on the side of the Time Store. Yeah.
I remember that. I get such a kick out of that because I'm like thinking he's putting on shaving cream, and he's like shaving, and he's brushing his teeth. He's putting toothpaste on the toothbrush. And I'm like, what is going on over here? I'm like, but that was just the craziness of just what was going on. Then later on, fast forward to the musicology tour, all of a sudden, the 2 other things that I see is him. All of a sudden, I think Rhonda's, crushing the bass, and he's always playing everything. All of a sudden, he's playing this black and white bass. And that's when they were having like the purple circle, and they had that, big old stage, the cymbal stage, up on a riser.
Right.
And he's just crushing the bass, which was like, that was a treat in of itself because he's always crushing the guitar, and he's on the piano, and everybody knows he can sing and do all that junk. But I'm like thinking, it's not very often you just see him just start slapping that bass And all of a sudden he comes out with this black and white bass, and I'm wearing black and white shoes, and I'm thinking, man, he's playing my shoes. He's just slapping that bass and going.
He could play your shoes. I know he could.
I'm like thinking, the guy can do it all. There he goes again, just putting it out there on display for everybody to see. And then the last thing I remember, there was a concert in Texas, 2 of them, but I got to see a second one in Houston. They added some extra nights. And like you said, the shows are never the same on back-to-back nights. They were like different set lists, different songs, different everything he was doing. And he was doing that whole acoustic set where he would just go crazy. And then all of a sudden he would just come up on just with a guitar and he'd be sitting on a chair and just do like a whole acoustic set. And next thing you know, all of a sudden he's just in rare form and he's talking to the judge, and saying that he's been, kind of having it out with his lady at home, and weird things are going on, and there's been some furniture moving. I don't know if anybody's heard that whole shtick because it's out there, but you can hear it where he's just going on, and he's talking about, can I get a witness? Because all of a sudden, he's telling his girl, look, he goes, I don't know what to tell you. He goes, but when it comes to Sunday, he goes, Sunday is for sports. Leave it alone. He goes, Sunday is for God and sports, and leave it alone. And he goes, oh, and by the way, shopping is not a sport. And so then he's going on and talking about his problems. You got a problem, you come to me, I'll help you solve it. That's what I'll do. You come to me with a problem, I'll help you solve it. But if you just want sympathy, take it to your nappy-headed girlfriend's house. You go, and I mean, he's just going on in rare form, but those are the things I took away from the concerts. The pretending to shave and brush your teeth, slapping that bass and just getting funky.
Yeah. That actually
dancing on stage and just going crazy.
The whole 90s, that was back when he started doing all that stuff with he started doing that back in, I want to say, Sign of the Times, because I actually remember that whole process. I think it was in the Sign of the Times movie that I remember him doing that. But we got I've got literally 4 calls in the waiting. Pennington, thank you so much for calling. You're a great man. Thank you so much.
No worries, brother. I'll keep supporting you, man. Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. You rock.
Yeah.
All right, we got a couple other callers here. I'm getting to you guys one by one. I see you. 650-678. Oh, we got some Georgia folks in here. 678-813 and 613. I see you. I'm getting to you. Here we got this. She's been on hold about 8 minutes or so. We're going to go ahead and get this person on the line. Welcome to Funkatopia. Who's on the line?
What's up?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so my whole Prince concert experience was really cool. I first saw him in Purple Rain back in the day in Oakland Cow Palace.
Okay. The Cow Palace?
In San Francisco.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. What's your name?
I'm echoing right now, but that's cool. Anyway, I was only 16 years old and he just blew my mind. I was a fan before that with the first album.
Yeah.
Are you echoing now? Did your echo disappear?
No, I'm cool. It's good now.
Okay. It's your channel, Rob. Your channel is causing echoes. I'm taking you out of the mix when people are calling.
All right, well, just ask her name. She'll tell us her name.
Say all kinds of rude things about me now. All right, go ahead with your story.
But the best part was, okay, so after I saw Purple Rain, I went to a concert at the Warfield Theater in San Francisco, and that's where he was playing, Sheila E. was playing, and he made a guest appearance, and his limousine came up and parked during the day, and he came out in that yellow suit from, Parade.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was sitting there and I was trying to sit next to the door where he was going to walk in, and the bodyguards came up and said, you got to move. So I was trying to meet Prince, and so he walked in, and it was just a wonderful show, and his humor was so great with the audience. Just, I was also a part of the MPG club,
Yes, MPG Music Club. It's amazing.
Yeah, and so I got to go to the pre-shows, and he was so funny because I was born and raised in California, and I moved to Europe in 1999, so I saw him over there. And I went to the MPG Music Club pre-show there in Amsterdam, and we all, when the doors opened, a bunch of people ran in, and Prince was standing on stage, and he just shook his head. And he was like, "Look at all these grown people running." And it was so funny, and everybody was smoking, and he was standing on stage, and they were jamming and stuff. And what he would do is he would pull out some, spray in the air, some air freshener and stuff because people were smoking, and he'd start pretending to choke. He was just really cool. He was just really funny.
Yeah, he wasn't a big fan of people smoking, but it's funny that you say with Sheila E., she always seemed to pop up at all of his California shows because she lives out near Oakland, and she always supports a lot of community stuff out in Oakland. But normally when there's a California show, normally Sheila E. is somewhere in the mix unless she's got something else going on for sure. But that's so is that, how many times did you get an opportunity to see Prince?
Oh my gosh, I can't even remember.
That's good.
I saw him in New York. I saw him in Europe. I saw him in California. Just so many times I've seen him, and I just really miss the show.
Oh yeah, it's so glad that you at least have some memories, because I know a lot of people love Prince and have not even got an opportunity to even see him. So you are definitely among the blessed.
I just feel like, okay, my first Prince ticket was the Purple Rain show in 1985, 86.
Mm-hmm.
And I was 16, and it was a free ticket, and I was in the nosebleed section. I could hardly see him. He's already small already, but he just blew my mind. I was just like, and it was like, I loved him since Soft and Wet and all those, the first albums. When I was a child, I used to stay up till midnight because they wouldn't play that song during the day because of the lyrics.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, it's one of his biggest.
Wait up for the song.
Yeah, so surprisingly enough, that was one of his biggest hits.
My stepmother and my dad, I used to turn it up when the song came on, and my stepmother and my dad would bang on the wall and say, "Turn that down." I wish I could have seen him in the early days, but I mean, I'm from like the Dirty Mind era and the beginning. And it was so great, with the time and all the other artists that came out. That was just a great time.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your stories. Yeah, a lot of people got to see him for the first time at Purple Rain. I was just one of the very, very few lucky ones to get 1999, but I've told the story that I did not pay attention that whole show. I was hanging out with a friend, and we were running through the halls and the lobby, and we weren't paying attention to the show barely at all. But I technically was there. So
yeah, you were there.
I was there. Yeah. But thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate it.
All right, you guys are awesome. Have a good night. I'm gonna keep watching.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks.
And
okay, bye.
And we still got tons of calls coming in here. We still got 4 more sitting on hold here. All right, we're trying to get to you really quick. So because we just want to make sure that you guys get to tell your stories. So let's go to some Georgia folks in the house from 678. Right. Welcome to Funkatopia Live. Who's on the line?
Your daughter.
Jaden. Jaden, I was like, why does that number look familiar to me? Jaden, why are you calling me? It's like almost 11 o'clock at night. You want to? All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is my daughter. You're supposed to be in bed.
I am in bed.
I am in bed, she said.
I want to tell your story.
You want to tell my story?
Yeah.
What story do you want to tell, babe?
The one at the concert where you were dancing.
I danced.
Well, that's a good one.
Okay, go ahead.
No, where Prince was singing, and then you were like in the back, and then you were dancing, and then he like saw you, and then he started like pointing at you and everything. Oh yeah, it's a good memory. She's referring to Jaden. You're killing me. This is the One Night Alone tour, aka the Rainbow Children tour, and I did not have great seats. I was like back
I was not a member of the MPG Music Club, and I was back like 25. I was like back like 25 rows or so, at least. And they started playing Family Name, and everybody around me, everybody as far as I could see, all the rows in front of me, except for the MPG Music Club first couple of rows, everybody between them and me, everybody on the sides, everybody behind me, everybody was sitting down. Everybody was sitting down. And I was just like, oh, Family Name, this is my jam. And I got up and I started dancing. And then all of a sudden Prince looks out and he goes, I see you back there. So if you hear a bootleg of the Rainbow Children tour, One Night Alone tour in Atlanta, and he says, I see you back there, he's talking to me. I was the only one that was standing up in the sea of sitter downers. And I was just like, wow, you called me out again. That's awesome.
That's so lame that they were all like
it was lame.
MPG Music
I
Club.
haven't gone to any concerts.
Yeah, well, I know, I feel so bad that I didn't get an opportunity to take you to a Prince concert before he passed away. I was waiting until you were old enough that you were going to be able to appreciate it, because I remember I took your sister to go see Switchfoot, who she loved, and she fell asleep before she fell asleep in the middle of the concert. So I was just like, I need to wait till a little bit older to take them to the show so they can really appreciate it. But I've taken to her lots of other concerts. I've taken her to Dua Lipa. I've taken her to tons of concerts. Switchfoot, Black Bear, Taylor Swift. Why don't we? Yeah, bunch of concerts are important. All right, you know what? Get to bed. I love you. Good night.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Who's on the line? Your daughter. That's dating my 12-year-old. So she should be sick right now.
That was too funny.
Okay. Let's get to these other calls here. All right. Welcome to Funkatopia. Who is on the line?
Hi, this is April from Tampa.
Hey, April, how you doing?
I'm fine. You're a little poster.
Yes, she is our poster on Facebook. She is actually our producer, our Facebook producer. So because I don't really post on Facebook all that much, but April posts all the time. And I love her for it.
Thanks. I'll be quick.
Okay.
I just wanted to share my stories. Actually, going back, I fell in love with Prince when I was like 13 at the skating ring when I heard I Want to Be Your Lover and Do Me Baby. But I fell in love with his voice way before I saw him. And, back then there was no internet. We had to wait on Ebony, Jet, and the little music magazines and stuff. So when I finally saw him, they were like, good Lord. I've been in love since 13, and at 52, I'm still in love.
Yep.
But the first two concerts, the Triple Threat Tour and Purple Rain Tour, I was out of town both times, and my mom, which was my ride or die, we were going to the Bahamas or somewhere, so I didn't get to see those first tours. So the first tour I experienced was the Jam of the Year tour, and then the last one that meant the most was Musicology. And the reason why that meant the most, because that was the first concert I introduced Prince to. Now, my mom has heard Prince all throughout the house, so she's aware of Prince, and she fell in love coming in on Diamonds and Pearls. So from that point, she was hooked. So I took her to the Musicology tour, and during that time, she started having health problems. So that was actually the last concert that I went to with her. And we've always went to concerts together, from jazz concerts to, everything. I'm the only child, so we did everything together. If I wasn't with my friends, I was with her. So it meant a lot to, take her to that. And her health started failing, and I lost around 2011. So it took me from 2011 until 2013, 2014 to get everything back together, because in the process, I stopped working in I was her sole caregiver, so I lost my house in the process. So I was just, financially just getting everything together when he did the piano and the microphone tour. However, if I'd have known that would have been his last tour, somebody bill wouldn't have got paid that weekend. I would have had to go, but I still have my memories from when I did go. So it's nice to hear that. Stop, dog. My dog's trying to get on the phone. It's nice to hear that the state is keeping up with his legacy and everything that's going on with it. So I hope they keep it going. And John Blackwell actually lived here in Tampa, but I never got to meet him. But I did meet BK Jackson, one of his horn players, his sax players. I actually watched him grow up from a little boy being in talent shows to end up being on, stage with Prince. So that was the kind of treat to see, him from a little child started up to where he ended up. And he just recently did a tribute concert for him. So it was nice to see that. So that's my little Prince story.
Well, thank you so much. And April, I love you to death. And I know I think I've sent you a couple things, but I just need to continue sending you just random things because you keep our Facebook page alive, and I greatly appreciate it for sure. And I love you dearly. Thank you so much for calling in and sharing your story. And I'm glad you got an opportunity to see some Prince shows with your moms. That's awesome.
You're welcome. I love you guys too. Hi, Rob. I probably can't hear you, but hello.
Oh, you too, man.
All right, April.
I won't be hanging. All right.
Good night,
you
dear.
guys have a good night.
All
You
right.
too. Bye-bye.
All right.
I actually like hearing that story because that's right about the same time my mom died. And yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm still dealing with some of the stuff that is left over from that time period. And you're right. A lot of your life stops, and a lot of things that you were working on are it's just a whole different situation. So it's nice to be able to get back to the things that you love again, and and that's great. And I love to hear that, because that's one of the things that's great about somebody like Prince, who's such an amazing musician and artist, and somebody brought people together. So
you did a great job of that.
I love you, April.
We got a couple more calls on here, and so I'm gonna take these two more calls. If you haven't called in yet, just don't right now. We're gonna take these two calls because we're coming up on the 11 o'clock hour, and I want to get to these two calls that are in here. Somebody from the 613 area code is in the house. I'm putting them on the line. Welcome to Funkatopia Live. Who is here? Who's on the line?
Hello, boys. How you guys doing?
It's
Andre.
It's Andre. Oh my God,
Andre!
Are you naked?
Also known as symbolism. No, not yet.
No.
But I've really got good stories to tell you.
All right, well, pick your favorite one. Pick your favorite one. Let's start there. Go ahead.
That makes sense. I'll tell you the best and one and only. The time that I saw Act One at the Montreal Forum, where Prince was performing, and it was such a great show. Now, while the show was starting, Prince is performing. Mike starts walking through the audience, the first crowds, the aisle between us. And I scream out, and I scream out, I go, Maite. And she stops, turns around and looks at me, and I go, hi. And nobody realized who she was at that time. Nobody was recognizing that I knew, So the point I'm trying to get to is that during the show when Prince was performing, it got to the point of sexy motherfucker. Now that song, he was performing, and while he was performing, he was on the right side of the stage, and there was sort of a wall, and he was sort of grinding. And at that stage, at that time, it was about it's 6 feet high if you're in the front row. But this girl was just holding up. She grabbed her arm, jumped up, and grabbed his right cheek of his ass. And Prince was shocked. He just spins around, swings his arm around to knock her hand off his ass. And when he went back to his microphone, he was so flustered that I kind of enjoyed it. That it was funny. The negative part about it.
Oh, you're killing me, Andre. Jaden, I hope you're bad. I hope you're
party over there, man. Sign language.
No, I was just laughing because I was thinking maybe Jaden's still listening. That's why I was sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Grab the butt cheek. Go ahead, Andre.
Yeah. No, this is a good story. Keep going.
Well, let's put it this way. I sure enjoyed it. And I remember a time when I was at the after show party of this tour where you had to for the tickets. You got the pre-show, you got the show, and you got the after show.
Right.
What was so good about the after show was the One Night Alone tour. What's so good about the after show was at the university in Ottawa, Carleton. And it was this university pub, small venue, just, all the members like me were able to get in first. And we had the front row, stage host, great Larry Graham. Larry Graham was there. Anyways, that night I heard from a lot of students, and they were telling me, wow, this musician, Prince, man, is he good or what? And I'm looking at them, I'm going, yeah, I mean, I knew he was good, but I mean, to hear from the other younger generation from me that was, or the younger kids that were there at the time, I kind of was wow. Prince does one thing good. He's a tight band. Mm-hmm. And when you play with Prince, he's a tight musician. And when you hear that, with especially in a small club venue, I mean, it was amazing. I mean, it was so good to see how he performed so amazingly, and his songs are just, I don't know if I could have ever done that. And I don't know if there's many artists that can do what Prince does, but he does such a good show. It brings you into it. Like, you can be not a Prince fan. You go to a Prince concert, and like I said, I saw these people like, wow, I never thought Prince was that good. And I'm like, listen, this guy can, change the memorandum, change the rules, make new laws. This is how talented and how the show was so constructed.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's over and over where he repeats the same things, but the thing is, I really enjoyed the fact that he performs. And like when I saw Mikey and I said, Mikey, can I talk to you? She goes, I can't. It's intermission right now. And it was so funny because when I stopped there, the whole security's around me, and it's just me and Mikey in the circle. And I was shocked, like nobody's pushing me back, nothing. The thing is that when you go see, or when you did go see Prince, it didn't matter if you knew it or knew the songs, or it was just great show. Yeah. It was, I mean, compared to Pink Floyd, which I've seen Pink Floyd, I mean, he brings the people in. And, to end the story, it was one of the best concerts, and it's probably all of his concerts for me are the greatest,
Yep.
And the only odd part was the next morning, I met Larry Graham, and I said, hi, sir. I don't want your autograph. I didn't want to embarrass him. The only thing that felt weird is his wife came right into the conversation with a scripture of the Jehovah's Witness Watchtower. I don't know what it is, but she passes me that. So
yeah,
like I said,
no, go ahead.
It was a great show. Thank you,
Andre. You're the
Chris.
best.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Rob.
You're the best,
Rob
Andre.
is crazy.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
And don't believe everything. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't believe anything.
All right. Thank you, guys.
No problem,
Have a great
Andre. All right, let's take this one last call here from area code 325. You are on Funkatopia Live. Who's on the line?
Hey, buddy, can you hear me?
I can. Thank you. So, wait, who is this?
Mr. Chris, this is Mr. Nick Garcia from
Yes,
Texas.
it is. Nick Garcia is in the house, and Nick, I know you're gonna share some memories, but I also was well. Go ahead and share your memory, and then we'll talk more.
Okay, very well. First of all, this is the first time I don't know if Rob can hear me, but this is the first time I meet Rob. Rob, how are you doing? I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, he can hear you.
But anyway,
I can hear you. I don't think you can hear me, but hey,
it's a little bit of a curveball. It's not a concert. It's not a meeting or anything, but it's an after party. So yeah, my story is one night here in it was in Dallas, Texas. We went to a concert, of course, and back then, you found out about after parties through the concert. Kurt Johnson was the guy that came out at the end of the show and said, "Hey, we're going to be hanging out in so and so place." I think it was called the Mirage. And so, of course, we haul ass from there and head over to the venue, try to find it and where it was at. I can't even remember. But anyways, we had met a guy by the name of his nickname. I'm sure his name was Big Willie. We met him the night before, I think either in Houston or in Austin, because Prince would do like a little deal of trio shows or hit and run shows here in Texas. And this was during the time of Jam of the Year or Hit and Run, something like that. It was around 96, 97, 98 maybe. And so anyways, yeah, we ended up at this show at the Mirage, and we run into this guy, Big Willie, that me and my wife had met. And the guy was really super nice. He took us into the line that we were waiting in to get in. Long story short, we ended up inside the venue in this small little lounge. It was, he wasn't going to perform, obviously, because there were no instruments, nothing like that set up. There was a couple of pool tables and a couple of, a bar, whatever set up. Anyways, we're sitting down, and this is like, by the time we get into this venue, this is like maybe 1 o'clock in the morning. And this is December 30th, something like that. Pretty cold outside. And we get in, and we're sitting there waiting, about 1 o'clock, I could say. And literally around 3 o'clock, maybe 3:30, here comes, some of the entourage, some of the band members. Larry Graham walks in, some of the recognizable people, and still no Prince. We're waiting. And so finally around 5, here comes Prince walking in. And it's literally like you could just hear like a pin drop. Everybody just gets quiet. And by this time, this room probably had maybe 100 people, maybe at the most. By this time, it's like maybe 50 people. Everybody gave it up and left, whatever. And so we're sitting there, and the doors open up, and again, it's just silence. People just stayed quiet. They froze.
Right.
As Prince walks in. And so Prince walks in into this little hallway or whatever, where it's right by our booth where he walks by. And I swear to God, man, it just seems like, he was wearing like this glittery looking blue suit, type deal. And it almost seemed like glitter was just following him, like it was just flowing off of his body type deal as he walked by. And so he walks by and he steps down a couple of steps into this pit where these pool tables are at. And as soon as he walks by, whatever, all serious, real quiet. As soon as he steps down in this pool place, I mean, he turns into this complete different person, almost like a kid. And he grabs his pool stick, and and Larry Graham, just sitting there waiting for him, warming up, doing whatever. The next thing you know, they're just start playing pool together. And I don't know if anybody's out there in the world has ever seen Prince play pool.
No.
But man, I tell you what, Prince, man, if he was good at ping pong, this dude at basketball, whatever, this dude was also a pool shark. I mean, he was whooping Larry Graham's butt like you wouldn't believe. I mean, ping balls left and right, just bam, bam, bam. I mean, it was crazy, right? So here's the kicker part. So we're sitting there watching Prince, right? And by this time, already Big Willie had left and his guests and whatever. And so we're sitting there being calm as can be. We're not trying to do anything crazy or anything to get kicked out. And so, we kind of edge up to the railing where you can oversee, the pool pit for Prince is playing pool, right? And so we slowly ease up to the railing, and we're sitting, me and my wife sitting there watching Prince, whatever. And I don't know, it just came into me. I told my wife, I was like, hey, and the steps to the pit were just like right there, like a few steps away. And I told my wife, I was like, hey man, go down there and see if maybe, you can meet Prince or whatever. And she's like, no, I don't want to do that. I said, yeah, cool. You'll be all right. You're a woman, he can't kick you out. No way. There's no way in hell. So I finally talked her into it. So she takes 2 steps down this pit, whatever. And I don't know where in the hell this bodyguard comes out and just snaps her and says, hey, you got to go. So she's getting escorted through the back door to some kitchen or whatever. And I'm just frozen to my chair. I don't get up. I'm like frozen. I'm not going to move. I'm just going to sit there. And I'm like, surely she's going to come back. Surely, she's a woman. She's going to come back. She's going to tell them that, I'm here. I'm her husband. I'm sitting there. We're just sitting there. We're not doing anything wrong. We got invited, Big Willie, whatever. None of that stuff. So, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes go by, an hour. It seems like an hour passes by. And I'm still sitting there, glued to my chair, watching Prince play pool. And then I start thinking, I'm like, okay, so it's pretty cold outside, probably around 15 degrees, I'm guessing. I have the car keys to the car. She had no jacket. And now I'm thinking kind of bad, right? So around this time,
you should have been.
Around this time, right? I'm getting all these bad vibes as I'm feeling this. Here comes Maite walking in through the main doors as Prince came in with this big old long furry long coat, and I see her walking in. I'm like, man, she looks real comfy and warm. And of course she approaches Prince and Prince hugs her and then I start feeling bad. I'm like, oh shit. Well, my wife's outside, probably freezing her ass off. I'm like, holy shit. I start feeling really bad, So the minute I feel bad, sir, you know what? Enough of this. I mean, I wanted to stay there as bad as I wanted to, but I get up. As soon as I get up and start making my way through the double doors where Prince came in, here comes this rude bodyguard. This is probably the worst bodyguard that Prince had. His name was Earl. I remember him from back in the day. This dude came out of nowhere also. He's like, what in the hell are you doing in here? And he had known me from the previous nights, Austin, Houston, wherever we've been at. And I'm like, I've been sitting here all this time. I mean, I didn't do anything wrong. I got invited in by a friend of ours. He goes, you need to get the heck out of here, I said, all right, fine. I'm walking out, right? And so I'm walking out this hallway as we came in. And I'm thinking to myself, my wife's going to be all pissed off at me. She's going to be this. She's going to be that.
Yeah.
No, negative, man. I walk out there. My wife's hanging out in the lobby, close to this little cuddle van or whatever they're sitting at. And she's hanging out there with, I think it was Kat. Her name was Kat Denson.
Yeah.
The guitar player.
Yep.
Kat Denson, Rhonda Smith, John Blackwell. I'm not sure it was John Blackwell or not, but it was like several people, and they're out there having like hot chocolate and and just having a good old time, and they're all calling her Selena, and I'm like, I got pissed off. I'm like, I could have just sat in my freaking chair watching Prince, thinking my wife over suffering, and she's over having a ball, and I'm like, oh well, but
that's I'm sorry, Nick, but
what it is.
I'm sorry, Nick. That's what you get. You should have walked out with your wife.
Wait.
You should have walked out with your wife. I've met both of you. You should have walked back. You should have been out, and you would have been out hanging with them and having a good time instead of having to sit quietly. Because there ain't no way that I'd have let my wife sit outside for an hour just so I could watch Prince.
Mr. Christopher, I'm sorry, but I bet you would think different if you ever got the chance to see Prince playing pool. I think you would think differently.
I got for about 10 minutes of it. Maybe for about 10 minutes of it, I could have sold the story that I thought they were going to let you back in.
It may have been 10, 15. It just seemed like an eternity to me. Me thinking about that, I'm like, okay, whatever. But
yeah,
and everybody I tell this story to, that and it's mainly the females that get mad. They're like, how dare you leave your wife out there and this and that. But some of the real Prince fans that I meet that are females or males, whatever, they're like, hey, bro, right on, bro, man. I would have stayed glued to my chair. I would have done this. I would have done that. I'm like,
oh, Stacy,
it is what it is.
Stacy Boyd.
It was a crazy.
Stacy Boyd shared her story. She said, Stacy Boyd said, oh my God, Earl Gabadon was so rude to me in Knoxville, Tennessee that I wrote his name on the back of my ticket. I plan to write Prince about him. So yeah, he's got a bad rap. He was a
oh my God! I mean, he was one of the worst, man.
But before I let you go, a lot of people who have seen, now you guys used to see my alternate view that I used to have before I switched back to this computer of that amazing, beautiful guitar that is hanging on my wall. That was created and designed by the one and only Nick that you are listening to that is telling the story. Now, there's more to the story, because now he has moved on to something else. And is it okay for me to share a picture?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm going to share a screen, and I don't know. Let me see if I can share. Hopefully I can share this. I don't know if it's going to let me share the specific screen. I wish that it would.
Take better pictures. I was supposed to take better pictures today, but there was no sunlight today. So.
Yeah, and what's a bummer is that I can't pull up the one particular picture. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open this up on this screen, and I'm just going to share this. Hold on just a second. So basically, he is going to be coming to Chanhassen next week with. So Rob, you get an opportunity to meet. And he has made 2 new things, and they're not guitars. I'm going to share a screen here. I'm just going to share my whole entire screen. Screw it. What the hell? And I am going to, I wish that I could just share. I wish I could just share the one screen, but I just freaking can't for whatever reason. That's okay. So I'm going to share this, and this is the picture of a cane that he has made.
Oh, wow.
So this is a cane that he's made, and
dude, I'm gonna need one of those soon.
Yes. Well, it's got the Prince logo up top, and of course, this is metal, and this is. You want to tell us exactly how this cane is made?
Yeah. Well, it's basically the ones that I made 2. So one is basically going as a memento to the fence when I get there. The other one, I am I don't know exactly what we're doing, but we're doing some raffle or whatever we're going to do with that. But anyways, the way it's made, it's just basically just a typical cane. I ended up cutting it up, and I ended up making a couple of Prince symbols out of wrought iron. And basically that's it. I just put some paint on it and put my little tweet on it and whatever, and that's what it is. I promise to get some better pictures, like I said, tomorrow, but I've been pressed for time.
So just so everybody knows, one of them, as he said, is going to be brought for the memoriam on Wednesday at Paisley Park. And then the second one, he is actually giving to us at Funkatopia for a donation that we're doing. We're going to be doing a drawing for this cane to benefit PRN alumni. 100% of the proceeds of this, what we get for the raffle for this, will go to PRN alumni. We are not getting any of it, but so the cane is going to be and he's just going to hold on to it. And then we're going to, once he gets me some other pictures, we will put up the raffle and we'll do, so you guys can donate to win this cane, which has the, as you see, has the Prince symbol on the, as part of the cane. And then on the top, as you see here, it's also got the actual, the newer symbol, love symbol on top, and it's just an amazing cane, and
That's
I'm
beautiful.
so friggin' excited to see it.
Wow.
I mean in person, because he's only bringing one up to Chanhassen to the event, so I am looking forward to actually seeing this in person. But yes, I told him, I said I want to commission, and I'm gonna have to try to stop. Try to stop sharing. There we go. I want to. I need to commission you for one of these canes because oh my gosh, it's just friggin', it's incredible. So once we get, so once we get some pictures of it, we'll be putting up and we'll be doing a raffle for that cane. And it's just a gorgeous cane, and I
That's
can't wait.
beautiful, man. That's
Again,
amazing.
all
That's an
proceeds,
amazing piece of work.
all proceeds are going to go to PRN alumni, which helps support people that have been that are still in the employ of Prince, either at the state or at Paisley Park, or that once were in the employ of Prince. Say for instance, just various artists that have worked with him and musicians that may be experiencing financial hardships. They come into PRN alumni steps in and helps them pay bills and medical expenses and whatever else that they need. And so anytime that we get an opportunity to support PRN alumni, that's what we'll do. And so that cane will be going up for auction once we get some pictures on them. And of course, once we talk a little bit more, through it, but I did want to show it, and it's amazing. It's incredible.
Yeah, it is.
Nick.
Yes, sir.
I can't wait to see you next
Yes,
week.
sir.
We'll probably do, maybe we'll do maybe dinner on Friday or something.
Whatever.
Okay.
Whatever you got in mind, my friend. I'm ready to be there, and I hope a lot of people turn up to be there, and
that's gonna be amazing.
Not be afraid to go to Minneapolis. It'll all be good.
Yeah, well, we're actually going to be, we're in Southwest Minnesota, so we're a good distance away from Minneapolis and the areas that we're in, because we're pretty much hanging out in Chanhassen and Henderson and Eden Prairie and that area, and that's a good distance away from Minneapolis. Although we do intend to go to Minneapolis at some point in time for a couple of different things, but yes, I so look forward to seeing that cane in person, but also getting back together with you. And being able to hug your neck, and we will see you next week, son.
Yes, sir. Yeah. And I hope I get to meet Rob this time. And
yep,
absolutely.
Just being reunited with a lot of people that I've met there over the years, and it'll be fun. It'll be a moment, but at the same time, it'll be fun.
Yes, we're gonna have an amazing time. All right, we'll see you next week, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Y'all take care, man. God bless y'all.
God bless you too.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we are shutting off the phone line right now because we are already over time here for sure. Okay. And I love ending shows with the message. Hold on a second. I love it when it says this. Hold on. This is my favorite thing. One of my favorite things. Hold on.
We are sorry, but the show has ended.
That's my favorite. So that's
for you, Siri.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, so we don't know what the weather is going to be, but so thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. If I left the phone line open, I bet we could have been on for another 2 hours for sure. I'm trying to watch the time because I want to make sure that we finish underneath that window where StreamYard cuts off the video. Luckily, we didn't play any songs tonight, so this video will be able to stay in posterity without being cut off or.
And ideally, I want to have a job tomorrow. So.
Yes, so we got to do that. So a recap also for next week, just so we're clear for those who may have tuned in the middle of the show or later on the show. First off, for tonight, as soon as we are done here, as soon as we hang up, we are going to start the concerts. So that's right. Tomorrow is actually in 40 minutes Eastern Standard Time for you folks in California. You got another couple hours to go, but it is the 5-year anniversary of Prince's final concerts that he performed in Atlanta, which happened 5 years ago to this day. Well, to the day in 40 minutes. So we are going to be honoring the day by playing Prince concerts for the entire day tomorrow. And it starts as soon as we get done with this broadcast. So you will start hearing some Prince concerts. So I'm sorry if I'm screwing up your sleeping patterns, but when you get up, there will still be live music. And the show, the day will end with his final 2 Atlanta concerts, both the 7 p.m. show and the 10 p.m. show. That should start about 8:30ish, 9ish, I guess, next tomorrow night. So be sure that you tune in because we're going to be playing live concerts, a lot of Prince piano and a microphone shows that we've found in various spots online, just because that was the tour that he was on when he stopped. And so we really I wish there was official versions that we could actually purchase and do things with, but we just can't, and they just not releasing them. So we do what we can. We will obviously, we could play Prince piano and microphone 1983, but it's just, we want to make sure that you guys get the full blown concert experience. And that wasn't a concert. So concerts all day tomorrow. Looking forward to it. It's going to be amazing. Starts as soon as we're done here with the show. And then, and as I said, for the Prince piano and microphone stuff, we have like 9 hours of Prince piano and a microphone shows. So there's shows from Australia, there's shows from Canada, there's shows from all over the world, and we found them in various spots, and we'll be playing them. So it's going to be amazing. So cool. Then remember that next week, as I mentioned, Funkatopia Live will not be on the air on Tuesday night. Both Rob and I have to leave very early in the morning. Rob earlier than me, very early in the morning, which is funny because I leave after you. My flight leaves like 2 hours after yours and arrives an hour and a half before yours.
That's so not right.
I haven't figured out exactly what you're doing. I think you're taking a detour through Washington or something. I don't know what's happening. So anyways, so we will be flying in on Wednesday, and we will be going live on Wednesday. We're going to stream. We'll stream the balloon release. No matter how you feel about it, because you missed a whole conversation. But they're doing a balloon release at 2:00, and a lot of that has nothing to do with Paisley Park. It's just some fan thing, and but people are complaining that's bad for the environment. You're going to kill animals. It doesn't matter. It's happening at 2:00, so we'll probably
animals will die.
Yes,
in honor of.
Animals will be harmed in the making of this balloon release. And then we're gonna be carrying our new gimbals around, and we're going to be like live stuff as much as we possibly can. So it's going to be fun. Oh, he's going to go get his gimbal now. And then after that, what does your shirt say? Ooh. Somebody said they loved your shirt. What does the shirt say?
Oh, thank you.
Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Dr. Martin Luther King. Yes. Very good. Yes. Yeah. We need to, we need to that's very appropriate for the times for sure.
Right.
Then on that day, we'll also be doing, remember all the events that are happening on that day as well. 7 p.m. Rodney Fitzgerald is doing his event at Perkins Pancake House in Chaska on that Wednesday on April 21st. You will be able to view that online. He's doing a live thing from Perkins Pancake House, which should be really, really cool. That's Prince 365, a celebration. And then also at the same time, unfortunate but true, at the same time, Craig Alexander and his group of Prince Day Houston is doing the online event that you can get tickets at. Sometimes it snows in April.eventbrite.com, and it is snowing in April there. Sometimes it snows in April.eventbrite.com, eventbrite.com, and it is a free event, but they'll have live DJs, live music. They're doing some live art things that they're going to be doing, and special guest Jerome Benton. Both of those things happen 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. 9 p.m. Central Standard Time at Riley Creek Bridge across the street from Paisley Park. If you're planning on, please RSVP. Look for the events on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Funkatopia. Please RSVP. We're having a candlelight vigil at Riley Creek Bridge. Myself and Rob Rhythm will be there, and we'll be live streaming the event. If you can't make it, that's perfectly fine. We'll be doing a candlelight vigil with these beautiful purple candles. Oh. And we've got like 80 of these purple candles, and on top of that, we got like 100 and something white candles as well. But we wanted to make sure you can bring your own candle, but we kind of wanted to have the little bit semblance of just some continuity with everything that's going on, just not a bunch of crazy earthbound candles or whatever. So we wanted to make sure there was some consistency all the way through. Anyways, so that's happening at 9 p.m. with special guest Charles Chaz Smith. Prince's cousin Chaz is going to be there. So I'll be saying a little bit of something, kind of a little bit of an intro. I don't know if Rob had planned to do anything, but I know for a fact that I will be saying a little bit of something, and Chaz will be saying a little bit of something. We also have some other guests too. I think the mayor is going to be there. There's like a bunch of other people that are coming, which is surprising, but it's going to be quite a bit of folks. Please make sure that you RSVP. It is an outdoor event, so dress appropriately, because I don't know what the weather's going to be, but it'll be fun. And then lastly that night, after the candlelight vigil, starting at 10 o'clock, Alfonso Starr, yo boy, Alfonso Starr is going to be at Houlihan's in Chanhassen, and we're not going to be there till like 10:30, but we will be crashing that event too after the candlelight vigil. But we're kind of staying behind after the candlelight vigil to make sure all the candles are picked up. There's no fire stuff, that make sure nobody accidentally dropped trash. All you guys are really cool, but we want to make sure that it's make sure that we respect the property and the place. That place is legendary. But for those who don't know where Riley Creek Bridge is, for the Candlelight Vigil event, it's literally right across the street from Paisley Park. So if you take that golf path that is in front of the fence in Paisley Park, if you follow that down, it goes under Audubon Road. That's the road that runs in front of Paisley Park. It goes under Audubon Road, and then when it gets to the other side, it curves around, and there's Riley Creek Park. You can park at the park across the street at the parking lot right there, which is St. Anne Park, I think. If you use the app, PrinceCelebration.com, the app that I created, PrinceCelebration.com.
Is that PrinceCelebration.com?
It's PrinceCelebration.com.
PrinceCelebration.com.
Or you can go to CelebrationTrip.com. I got both domains. I have them both filed, but if you go there, you can actually click on it, and I put the actual I put the actual what's the latitude, longitude. I put that in there because it doesn't actually have a physical address. GPS, so I put the what coordinate? GPS coordinates. Yes. I put I was going to say UPS coordinates. I put the GPS.
You can get your panties there too.
It's getting late. I put the GPS coordinates in there so that it would be a little bit easier to find. But if you park in the parking lot, at the park, there's tons of parking there, and you can just get out of your car and you just walk down the golf path to Riley Creek Park. But I do have a satellite view that Chaz sent me gives you an overhead view of where Paisley Park is and where Riley Creek Bridge is. So I'm going to take that and put it in Photoshop and circle things so that you know how to get there if you've never been there before, so to make it easy for you to get there, because the event's at 9, but we probably won't start talking until 9:20, just to give people an opportunity to get down there. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then finally, last thing, the next night, Thursday night at 6 p.m., Rob and I will be doing dinner at Axel's Restaurant in Chanhassen. And please join us. And you have to RSVP for that. You need to RSVP for that because the problem is that we have a limited amount of people that can be in there. They're going to give us a back room. We are actually going to be able to get the room where Prince had his own booth there, where whenever Prince came to this restaurant, he sat in a specific booth, and our back room, his booth is going to be there, and we're all going to be able to gather in our little area there. But I think that it's like between 2 and 3 dozen people max can be in there. So if you plan to be there on Thursday night, please RSVP, because once we kind of get capped out, we can't do anything else. So there's that. Yes, and if you RSVP'd for the Perkins Pancake House thing, you have to re-RSVP for this thing, because the Perkins Pancake thing was nixed. That's gone. We're only doing Axel's Restaurant now because we have our own space there. So there's that.
RVSP.
Yes, response s'il vous plaît.
With an extra R.
I can't roll my R's. My daughters always make fun of me because I always do it with my throat. I always go, like, that's not how you do it.
What is that?
I can't even do it right now. So I can do a little bit with my throat.
That was better, but you sounded more like a, I don't know, like a premature Wookiee, like a Wookiee who hasn't gone through puberty yet, like a prepubescent Wookiee is what I was trying to say.
Dwayne says, so there's going to be a Prince celebration. No, there's not going to be a Prince celebration. They're doing Paisley Park is doing a memoriam next week on Wednesday, where they're allowing people to come in and view his ashes for 15 minutes apiece. But that's the only thing that Paisley Park is doing. All these other things are just things that people that are coming into town are scheduling. So all those other things that I mentioned were all stuff that has nothing to do with Paisley Park. No official celebration. That's just no official celebration.
We got to do it on our own, man.
Got to do it. The sisters are doing it for themselves. Anyways, good night, everyone. I hope you had a good time. And we will see you next week. If we don't see you in person, I hope we see you in person. But if we don't see you in person, we look forward to at least being able to watch us on these live streams. We will be live streaming, especially the Candlelight event for sure. And then we may do some other things too, but we'll see. Good night, everyone. I hope you had a good time. Man, once again, if you have a funky face mask, make sure that you bring it. If you have a Funkatopia face mask, bring it. Here's what I can tell you. If you don't have a face mask, you want a Funkatopia face mask, order them now, and I will make sure they get shipped out tomorrow, so that if you are planning on coming, hopefully it will get to you in time. I will ship them tomorrow, and I'll do whatever I do. So if you want to order Funkatopia Facebook mask, face mask. Never mind. Good night, everyone. Yes. Funkatopia.com/shop, and you can actually just order whatever, and I will make sure that you whatever, if you want to order anything Funkatopia, just let it. I'm also going to bring like a stack of Funkatopia stickers, so I'm going to pass out some Funkatopia stickers too.
Cool.
And they're not cheap either. Those are expensive stickers.
I believe you.
They're vinyl stickers, and I put one on my car and it lasted it's like been there forever. And
we should test and see how it lasts in Arizona. I don't have one.
I think Georgia's got some pretty harsh elements here. It's like rain, snow, heat, humidity. Rain, snow, heat, humidity. It's like, and it experiences all the elements for sure. Oh shit! You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to load the first concert that we're going to be doing here.
Oh shit!
Oh, so let's see. What concert should I load? Yeah, because we're officially starting the concerts right now. So, and I actually put aside the concerts. I'll tell you what. Let's do. Let's do his first concert. Well, not the first concert, but it's one of the earlier concerts for sure. It's definitely not the first concert. From January 30th, 1982, from Capitol Theater. That's an early one. That's a really early one.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, so let's do that. And let's do that. I'm going to stick that into the system. And here you go. It's Prince in concert, January 30th, 1982. And we're going to have a full day of concerts to honor this 5-year anniversary of his final concerts here in Atlanta. Good night, everyone. Thank you so much. And here you go. It's Prince, Capitol Theater. All right, everybody. Good night. See ya. Facebook's not going to catch this, but I better cut it off so that they'll like trash the video.
Right,
Good night,
they're like-
everyone. Good night.